Well, I'm ready.
Wait,
Hold up.
what's the
Okay,
problem with
so
Spotify?
I had to make sure I just started recording. So technically now the podcast started.
Okay.
I had to make sure I hit record. I'm glad you said something because I would have forgot.
That's good. That's good. That'd been really bad. Well, you could have just clipped your stream.
I could do that. There's a setting in OBS I need to set up to get it. But all right, yeah. Episode 2 of the Toxic Friends podcast.
Big Black Cat answer.
Whoa. Check yourself, bitch.
My bad.
All right. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations. For real though, Billy.
Explain that.
If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations. It's like it's in terms of world economics, it should not be set up in a system to benefit the people that are essentially now it's like the people that are already rich. That's the way it is in the US right now. But basically, it shouldn't be set up to favor entrepreneurs and people running massive companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all that, yeah.
All right. Okay, I got it.
Here, let me just. All right, everybody, on your stories, put the link to the Twitch channel.
Okay. What's the? Is it in? Did you send it in Discord? Yeah, you did. That's the
yeah.
Twitch. Oh yeah, that's Twitch. Yeah. Copy link. We're doing this shit right now, bro.
Where's the Twitch one at? Is that in my podcast channel?
Can you actually add a link? Is that something you can do? I don't.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can. On the right side, there's a clip button. You can type a URL.
Okay. Twitch.tv/Toxic Friends Podcast.
All right. There you go. I've held up my end of the bargain.
There we go. Oh shit, that's not supposed to go to her. That's supposed to go to my story.
I put mine on my story.
Yeah.
Come listen. Nice.
Okay.
Come listen to her.
All right. So, if economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations.
All right, we're going over that. Got it. Yes. All right.
So, are you guys wanting me to explain as I go, or we
just for the ones that don't seem like the next one's pretty straightforward. You don't really need to explain that one. You just pick your choice and then.
So, I think I should at least explain mine for the people that are on Spotify, so they're not just like listening to me clicking and explaining shit.
That's fine. Well,
so,
or are we gonna do that?
You know what?
Is there
all
a
of us. No. Well, no. So what we'll do is all of us with each question will just give our point of view and what we answered with it, and then at the end, then we'll just say what we got. How's that?
All right.
That way we have content throughout the whole thing.
Would it be better to just do you and then keep ours a surprise? Would that be more?
Just do yours and then we'll keep ours a surprise.
All right.
I feel like you guys are just
that's
gonna
fine.
argue with me at some point, anyways. So.
Well, yeah. If we do that, then that's interesting, I guess. If we come across something that I disagree with you, then I'll or something like that. I'm sure Billy will as well.
Billy's gonna fucking hate me once we get to the social aspect. Okay. If economic globalization is inevitable,
I'll be mildly annoyed, probably.
Bullshit. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Tyler's gonna disagree with me on this one. I agree on this one.
I agree,
but I don't
disagree.
I don't strongly agree with it either.
I do not strongly agree. I think everything in the end should be working towards bettering humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
But there has to be some sort of competition with corporations, and that's what improves the economy. So I'm not saying that things should be handed out to people, or it should be super easy for people.
Bro, there's one about
you don't want everything to be just a
water.
monopoly. I get that.
There's one about bottled water being like water being being a bottled branded consumer product.
We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, next.
I did.
All right. I'd always support my country whether it was right or wrong.
I disagree.
I also.
That's a
disagree
hot
with
take
that.
from you, Mitchell.
I disagree. I love the U.S.
But you love
But-
Canada more. No, I see how it is.
No, so my thing is, I look at it from a point of view of I'm gonna support my country through. I guess it would be agree, because I will support my country through everything.
All right, I was gonna say, Mitchell, you keep up on this track, you're gonna end up live left.
So I do support my country through everything, for the most part. But there has to be a point at which I do not support it anymore.
Mhm.
I just
know,
I
I
don't
get
know
that.
what that point would be.
So so what, like, just take for example Afghanistan, right? I don't support what happened, but I support.
I support the
I don't
country.
like-
I support pulling the veterans out of Afghanistan. I do not like the way that it was done.
I
Yeah,
agree.
no,
with
I
that
agree with that 100%.
completely.
I think the common person actually would have done a better job than the fucking Biden administration in that sense. Like that's bad.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what happens when you have.
When anything with the military cannot be done immediately, it just can't.
Yeah,
All right, moving
And
on. Okay, go
I
ahead,
think
Billy.
most people will agree that the non-military citizens, should have been pulled out first.
It seems so elementary that there's got to be like why
Yeah.
didn't they? It's so dumb.
All right. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it.
False. That's
I
the dumbest
strongly
thing.
disagree with that.
I also strongly disagree with that.
It is in no way foolish to be proud of the country you were born in.
I agree.
Am I saying that you have to be proud of the country? No. I'm also not saying that.
It's a bad thing to be proud of it though.
Yeah,
You're saying
I
it's not a bad thing. to be proud
I
of. This one's pretty straightforward. don't really
I
think
think you should be proud of your country for what your country's done.
unless you're like Guam. I'm kidding.
What the fuck is Guam done?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Join the U.S.
Hopefully
Alright.
not get votes.
Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races.
Strongly agree. No, I'm kidding.
This is an unfair question because this in no way relates to politics.
Which one is that?
Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. And the
Oh,
reason I
yeah.
struggle with this, answering this, is
Because you're
I-
racist, and I understand.
no. Like, I know exactly what it's like. I know the category it's going to put me in no
If
matter
you
what answer I
agree.
pick.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that each race has superior qualities in their own specific way.
Mm-hmm.
That's adaptation and evolution.
Yeah.
That's the basic principle of it. So, I'm not saying like our race specifically.
But race in general.
Race in general, each race has its own specific qualities that make it good. Like, this is going to sound racist, but yes, African Americans do better in the heat because of their dark skin.
Ashy. I'm kidding.
But,
I see
like-
where you're coming from. I haven't really thought about it that way. I think it's most people just look at it surface level, like, oh, well, if you say agree or strongly agree, that's racist. So why would I pick that?
Yeah, just like
But that being said,
Asian
I still
people-
think I would pick disagree. I'm gonna be honest with you there. that does
I
sound
have to
racist.
go with disagree.
There's one on here that you guys will probably think that I'll disagree with you on, but I very much agree with you on.
All right, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I feel like there's a deeper meaning to that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm
I
just trying to think. Of, like,
disagree with that purely because look at where
I
that got us with
agree,
the
and I-
Russians.
I agree, and I also disagree.
Look at
Yeah,
where
this
it
is
got
a
us
tough
with the
one.
Russians. We gave them too much power, and then
But they're not really an issue right now.
they're not anymore, but they
Right
were
now.
for like 30 years.
Cold War and all that.
It was more like 50 or 60 years.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with agree on the enemy of my enemy is my friend,
I think
simply
I-
because
I put disagree. I didn't strongly disagree though.
Oh, by the way, there's more stuff on the left. By the way, like different stuff I could do. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if those are like tests or anything. Those are
we
more
can do
readings.
those at a different time.
Oh
as
yeah, no,
well.
those are readings of the where people stand.
Oh.
Never mind then. Yo, what it said Biden and Trump are both authoritarian, right? We're just gonna ignore that. We're gonna continue going.
I
Oh.
don't think somebody's paying attention.
Hold up. Where did it say that?
So if you click on the USA's tab on the left and you click U.S. presidential election, it says Biden and Trump are both authoritarian, right? And like pretty far up there at that, which is quite interesting, I might add. But that's
Did it say the
where,
U.S. presidential election?
But regardless,
Uh,
straying off the path.
what?
And
Yeah,
then
they
it didn't
didn't.
even-
They did not do their research.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. All right. Anyway, next question.
All right. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Yes,
Agree.
I agree
play
with
strongly
that.
agree. I play strongly agree.
Wait, which one was it?
Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. In my opinion, international
yeah, I
law
agree.
is simply an opinion, and you're allowed to have a different opinion from other people. So why, like, a law is honestly just an opinion. It is the opinion of whoever you have elected or whoever has gained power in your country, state, whatever. It is their opinion.
Yeah. If you think about it in like simple terms, like speed limits, for example, they're just arbitrary made-up numbers that seem
Tyler,
to be-
just shut up.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Trying to justify driving 110 on the highway.
no, but what I'm saying is, there's
On a
no
fucking
obviously
McSkillet?
it's obviously
Billy.
safer to drive at the speed that is posted. There's probably some research behind that, but it's not specific enough, I would say. Like you could certainly justify, especially with how I guess safe cars are nowadays.
I feel like we're
Why,
going too
maybe
far
5 to
into this
10.
right now, and this is going to take way too long of our podcast.
Yeah, this is going to end up being a 3-hour-long thing.
That's fine. I mean, I got
There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment.
absolutely strongly agree.
I strongly agree.
Hollywood.
Okay.
I'm not even
oh, yeah,
worried
I
about.
strongly agreed with that one as well.
I'm not even worried about Hollywood. Honestly, I'm more worried about just news in general. News has become too powerful.
Yeah, no. Like
I'm
social
not
media,
saying that
big
news
media.
should be limited as to what it can say. I'm saying that news needs to be 100% true all the time.
Mhm.
I understand that there is some opinion, but
It needs to be 100% fact, is mine.
like,
Yeah, no,
and
I 100% agree.
I'm gonna shit on CNN and Fox right here. There should not be news publications that
Our bias
Are-
straight up.
Yeah.
like they will do everything they possibly can to shit on the other party or someone that
Yeah.
thinks differently. It should just be a straight up, these are the facts, make your own
Yeah.
opinion.
I
Because
100%
now
agree with that.
what you're doing with the democracy of the United States is you are taking advantage of the uneducated people in the US, which is a problem. There needs to be better education. But you're taking advantage of the uneducated population and convincing them to think a certain way or telling them they need to think a certain way to be a decent human.
Yeah, and basically, if you're not
And-
watching Infowars, you're not watching information.
So you took an American population of, what is the US population now?
I think it's like 360 something million, I believe.
So let's assume that's what it is. 360 million. I have no idea what it actually is.
Oh, I'm not laughing at what you guys are talking about. I'm laughing at one of the questions.
329.5 million. That's close.
Hold
Yeah.
on, I'm gonna screen clip the one that I'm laughing at.
So 329.5 million. So you're essentially taking that, and these aren't like true numbers, but the way news is right now and how many uneducated people there are in the U.S. that can vote.
Yeah.
Let's assume 60% of the population can vote due to age or citizenship or whatever.
Right.
So that's 250 million, a little bit more than that. Probably 285 million, something like that. So you're taking that, and then you're, with these news publications taking control over all of this, you're essentially taking that number down to about 125 million votes because of just how uneducated the U.S. is. All right, I'm going to the next page.
I was
The
try-
economy.
I was trying to.
This ought to be fucking good. people are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. I struggle with this one.
I agree.
And I
That's
struggle
fine, I
with
agree.
dividing people in general. Because go ahead,
I
Billy.
agree with that, but I don't strongly agree.
Yeah, no, I'm with Billy on that one. Like, it's tough though, cause like, you think like you go to some middle of nowhere town, there's a bunch of old white dudes and people, and then you go to Akron, and it's a bunch of black people, and so you think, oh, it's gotta be my nationality, it's gotta be like some side effect of redlining, but nothing is like stopping people from moving out of those areas. I think it's more.
Yeah, that's
just the
another
culture.
thing. Nothing's keeping people from people with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. What the fuck?
Yeah. Why is that a question on here?
Obviously, it's political.
It is a very political question.
It
and
is, but still, that's
We'll get
like
there when we get there.
that's so dumb.
Okay. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I agree with the fact that it's more by class. And because
Yeah.
of the class, it divides people by nationality.
Yeah. That's
People
what I said.
are-
I agree. I don't strongly agree, but I agree.
African Americans are not poor in the U.S. simply because they're African American.
Yeah. No.
It
they're
is
poor in the
simply
US
because of when
what they decided to do.
Africans were brought over to the U.S. It's simply because when they were brought here, they were put in certain areas. And
Yeah.
now these places are so overpopulated that there was just no opportunity. And when there's no opportunity, there's no way for people to make money. They already had a rough start making money because they literally were here for how long and not one of them made a cent.
Right.
So they already got a bad jump on it in that sense. And how are you supposed to move out of an area if you don't have the money to move out of there? That's like, there's no way to move to a place with better opportunity or get somewhere with better opportunity if you don't have the money to move. I mean, I guess that's just one way of looking at it. I'm sure there's a million ways you could look at all of these. But that's the way I'm looking at it. People are more divided by class and by nationality for sure. But nationality people are divided by not because of that, though. It's because of the class.
Mitch, I'm gonna say something real quick.
All right. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment.
Controlling
I don't
inflation is more
know.
important than controlling unemployment. Well, I think there's a point where obviously inflation needs to be controlled. What is that? That's the Fed, right? Or is that
Yeah, it's the National Reserve.
National Reserve? But I think at some point, too much becomes too much, and the
I think
the
they
Federal Reserve
they
is
go
gonna
hand
come
in
to be,
hand.
like,
And see, this is the problem with the United States currency system. It's not backed up by silver or gold or anything like that. It's backed up by the government saying, this is what it's worth. And, okay, that seems progressive to do, I guess. But then you're killing yourself when it comes to controlling inflation then. Because in an entrepreneur's mind, they could simply say that, oh, the government doesn't value this at this much. I don't care what the world values it at. Our government does not value this, so it's not worth whatever. Meanwhile, this businessman is going to buy whatever it is for cheaper and then sell it on a global stage where things are backed up a certain way. I guess that's a simple way to put it. I don't know. I'm probably speaking out of my ass.
Yeah, this is what I'm not too sure about. Like, I think
I'm
so
gonna.
it's like actually it's more important. I'm gonna disagree with this one. I'm gonna disagree with it only because I think even if
I don't think
inflation is
either
high, I
of-
still think it's better than having people on the streets collecting unemployment.
I guess here you could look at it this way: if inflation does get to the point where the U.S. dollar is not worth shit, you can always go back to like bartering and like things like that. Bartering trade, just very basic what the world was like for thousands of years. You could always go back to that, and then I mean they got to silver and gold, and things were traded, or things were bought then with silver, gold, shit like that.
Mhm.
So I'm actually going to strongly disagree with controlling inflation because in my opinion, if everybody is working, you will never have to worry about the inflation because
no, I
as
agree
people
with
are
that
working,
100%.
their competition will generate and everybody will end up making more and more and more, offsetting inflation. But yes, inflation does need to be controlled because you will never have a 0% unemployment rate.
Right. All right. Billy,
Okay.
you there?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get through this quiz. So
All right. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation.
I agree with that.
I'm going to strongly agree, especially now.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh fuck
uh,
yeah! My parents will bring me home B-dubs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
about
I would
ordering
agree with
B-dubs and
that.
getting it delivered.
Cause
Um,
no,
Um,
without regulation, there's definitely like an incredible amount of pollution that'd be out there.
yeah.
But I don't want to.
I-
I don't want to like
I don't want it to
keep a
hinder a
company-
company's ability
Yeah.
to continue, but inflation, or geez, not inflation. The environment needs to be protected. If you think about it, the human race is the most unsuccessful dominant species in the Earth's history. Dinosaurs were here for how many hundreds of years? We've been here for a couple thousand, 10,000 years.
Bro, one of these
20,000
is
years?
astrology accurately explains many things.
Oh my, fuck off. It's just a
Strongly
coincidence.
disagree.
Like, I mean, I guess there really are no coincidences, but okay. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea.
Bro, no. Okay, strongly disagree with that one. You cannot
Alright,
be
what-
moral
what do you
without
want?
being religious.
Billy's just trucking
What'd
along
you
here.
say?
He's a
You're-
question away far.
Billy, what the fuck? Okay,
Oh, I'm
from
on
each
page
according
5 and 6 right now.
bruh. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. I don't know how to interpret that.
All right, let me think about this real slowly.
This is the way I'm interpreting it. People need to be valued, or people's value of need or how much they are needed is valued based off their ability. That's how I'm thinking of this, which I strongly agree with.
Hang on, we'll look it up and see if I can find it. Like
Yeah, you tell me what you find.
according to his ability, teach according to his need. The principle refers to free access to and distribution of goods, capital, and services.
I'm disagreeing.
I'm not gonna tell you who wrote it. Don't look it up.
Why? Is it someone we know or something?
No, well,
Like-
yes, it would be someone that you know, but it would influence, what you would pick, I would assume. So I'm not gonna say who
Oh.
it is.
I'm already past it.
Well, it's only would influence much more.
Oh.
I don't know. I guess I would agree. Maybe. Hang on. Let me.
Okay, so
Refers to free
explain to me
access to-
like how like what it's supposed to be meaning.
Wrong.
The principle refers to the free. The principle refers to free access to and distribution of goods, capital, and services. So free access to. So the free market. No, or am I missing something?
Oh, the freer the market, the freer the people. So
I would
the
strongly agree with
easier
that,
people
then.
are able to access something, the more free they are.
Less regulation.
I would strongly agree. I'm kind of old-fashioned when it comes to the way shit. I think everything should be able to be bought for a price, and nothing should be held off
With
limits.
limits, with some limitation, right? Because
Uh,
slaves.
I'll go to agree. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled branded consumer product. I'm gonna agree with that. Water should not be a branded thing. It should be provided to
Well, the
an
thing is-
extent.
Yeah, I agree.
But the
with
You
thing
that.
need
is,
to.
you can-
There has to be something that you do to get the water. You can't just be handed the water. Like
but-
you've either got to have a job or you've got to like go to a community well and pump it yourself.
Yeah, you gotta do
That's-
something to get it, but like,
But the thing is, like, you're paying for the convenience of the bottled water. Water in and of itself is like a basic human need, and if you were that desperate, you could go to McDonald's and you can get a cup of water. Like,
all right,
I know. it might be a
Tyler,
bad
when you're
example,
done
but-
with yours, just take a screen clipping of it and send it, so then Mitchell can just view it on the stream.
I would
Alright,
disagree. With that. I think bottled water is fine.
All right, go to the next one. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree. You should be able to buy land, but also I think you should be able to, like, a country should be able to fight another country for land.
Yeah, I strongly disagreed with that one as well.
Okay. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. I strongly disagree.
I also strongly disagreed with that.
I feel like if you should at least be able to educate yourself enough to make the best decisions for yourself, and part of that is you educate yourself in the world of finance and entrepreneurship and just economics in general, and you can make those decisions. Not everyone's a winner. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So you got to make yourself.
Yeah. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. So what? Protectionism definition.
I think it's just
Protectionism, the theory or practice of shielding a country's domestic industries from foreign competition by taxing imports. Taxing
agree.
imports. I would agree with that. I would strongly agree with that even.
I completely
think
agree.
keeping trade within the U.S. and import taxes and all that.
I think keeping trade within the
Terrorists.
U.S. and its allies should be cheaper than like the U.S. trading with Afghanistan or China.
Yeah, for sure, and it definitely helps bring up jobs in the U.S. as well. I would say. So I would strongly agree with that one.
the only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. Strongly disagree. They need to at least have good morals as well and do something good for the world.
It also says Hillary Clinton is farther right than Donald Trump.
That is, well, you are going so far. Like,
Yeah, Billy, just
anyway,
shut the fuck
I don't
up.
know. I'm trying to think. Because at some point, you're gonna be like, well, I mean, it's a free country. They should be allowed to express whatever they want. But
Okay,
like, when you get to like,
I'll
the
change
Coke-
from strongly disagree to just
Well,
disagree.
Yeah, but like when you get to the Coca-Cola thing, when it's like be less white training, that's too much. That's ridiculous. So I don't know if I feel like they should be allowed to do whatever they want, or if they should just shut the hell up. Like,
I think companies, it goes
This is a
along
tough
with the
one for
environmentalism thing, and they should have good morals. They should promote what's best for society, for all of society, not just one specific race because of a current event that's going on. I'm not saying they shouldn't try to help out current things that are going on that is harming other races or groups or whatever, but it needs, in the end, needs to be for all of humanity in the entire world. It can't just be focused on one specific thing. Bottom line, people are too focused on making themselves look good and not making humanity look good, I guess.
Mhm.
Anyone got any more input, or are we moving on?
I'm good.
All right, the rich are too highly taxed.
Disagree. Strongly.
I disagree.
I strongly disagree with that.
strongly
I
disagree.
honestly, at this point, everyone
There-
should have a flat tax rate. I think the government just needs to say, hey, you owe me 10% of what you make in a year. Doesn't matter if you're rich, poor.
I agree with that.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Actually.
Then you can't bitch that you're not being treated equally.
I mean, that's mostly what we do, but
we have different tax
It does vary a
brackets.
little
we
bit.
do have different tax brackets though. But the
I think the
percentage
worst-
doesn't change enough for it to really matter.
Well, but there's some parts where it's like, oh, I make this much, which is the top end of my current bracket. If I make a little bit more, I'm gonna be in the next tax bracket, and I'm gonna end up actually making less. I think that's dumb. I
Yeah,
think that's an oversight, for sure.
yeah.
And I think a flat tax rate is.
I agree. We should have a flat tax rate, and everybody
And
should pay the
you know
same amount.
the top 1% or whatever the fuck. It's obviously it's their choice to do with what they do with their money. But I think for the most part, most of them do. And this is just me inferring, but I think that most of them do good with it. I don't think they just, you know,
I
Yeah.
don't think
I don't know.
that I don't think that rich people in general are pissed at how much they're taxed. Would they be opposed to being taxed less? No, they would fucking love that. But I don't think they make more than enough money.
what about like the people that make $1 a year, and then like they.
All right,
avoid
all I
tax that
heard
way?
was I
think
don't
that should
think that
purely
rich
be-
people in general are blank, and then my computer crashed.
Rich people in general, I don't think are upset at how much they're taxed. Would they like to be taxed less? Yes, because that means they get more money. Nobody's going to turn down extra money. But they're rich already with the taxes, so it's not like they're pissed that they're being taxed.
Yeah.
All right, Billy, are you good, or are you gonna have to start over again?
Waiting for my computer to load now.
Are you gonna have to redo everything?
What?
Are you gonna have to redo everything, or did you already take a screenshot of what?
I took a
results
screen
were?
clipping of mine already.
Oh, okay, that's good. All right, Mitch, we can move on then since he's done.
Okay. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Yes.
Agreed.
Strongly agree. There should be a basic health care like Obamacare, Medicare, or whatever, but it needs to be just very basic, and you should not be forcing people to use that. Yes, I think they should be able to default back to it, but if they can afford better health care, they should be able to purchase that.
Yeah, Tyler's deafened now.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why Tyler's deafened.
Someone probably came into his room. All right, government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. I'm gonna say agree. I think that everyone should. I think everyone.
Oh, I
Government
agree with that as
businesses.
well.
Government business.
I have to
Everybody's-
go. I have to go to Dollar General because my parents are incapable of doing that. Is there any way you could pause this? We could resume when I get back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, we can just pause the recording, and me and Mitch
Yeah, we can pause the recording,
And Billy and I
talk
can just
random
bullshit around with
bullshit
the stream.
for the
Okay,
stream.
I'll try and make it like 15 minutes. I'll try not to be long. You could go over some of the points, but don't do anything like the three.
I want
Anything
the
that you
bigger
think might-
ones.
We don't.
Just the little
He can
stuff.
just pause the recording, and we can just
I can pause the recording, but the stream's gonna keep going. So.
I
yeah,
know. Okay. All right. I'll be
we
back in
can
a
just
minute.
talk for stream. Yeah, my computer just crashed up, so that was great. I'm glad I took a screen clipping of it.
Recording's on pause, so.
On pause. Okay. Billy, you can rejoin my Spotify listening party if you wanted to. All right.
Hold on,
Sorry, I had to
not
go to
yet.
Dollar
Yo, I can get Subway fucking delivered. Hell yeah.
General. Sure, fat ass.
Can you
Alright,
guys hear my
Oh
music?
shit, they're closed. Damn it.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think I do.
All right. I'm ready to continue. If you're ready, Mitch.
So we already did government should penalize businesses that mislead the public.
No, we didn't actually.
Oh shit. Okay, that's something I did then.
Okay. Now do you
Government
guys hear my music?
I
No.
would strongly agree with that one. Well,
Okay.
but then that's a bigger government range, you see.
I probably sound better now.
I think we should. I think I would agree with that.
I just straight up agree.
Let me open back
Yeah.
up the stream.
I'm very neutral on that because that's like another government agency that I don't, but also misinformation is good to keep out, so that's a tough one. But I would go with agree on that one.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
All right.
I think I strongly agreed with that one. No, I just normally agreed with that one. Wait, I wanna.
Mitchie, you good? I see you looking down at your phone or something.
Oh, I'm door dashing something.
Of course. You
He's door dashing Subway to his house.
No, Subway's closed. They close at fucking 7 now. So okay, genuine free market requires. What fucking tractor did she tear apart? Holy shit!
Bruh.
Okay.
Also, you didn't make me a mod, Mitchell.
You didn't make me a mod either, Mitchie.
Yeah, I know.
Unreal.
Hold on.
Wow. Anyway, we're getting off track here. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator.
There, you're both mods.
multinationals to create monopolies.
Billy, not even modding the crew. Never mind. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. I disagree with that specific point, but I don't think there should be a genuine free market in that sense.
Yeah, you don't want
I
monopolies.
also don't think there should be. All right, move on to the next page.
Yeah, I'll go disagree with that one. All right, 3 of 6. Let's see.
So stop door dashing.
I haven't even finished my order. Yo, they got fucking Blackberry Izzies now?
That shit slaps,
It does.
dude. What are you door dashing?
B-dubs.
Oh, I'm door dashing B-dubs too.
Ayo?
Someone want to DoorDash me beat ups?
I'm not actually door dashing, and my parents are just bringing me home. So.
Yeah, they're finna eat your shit though.
Okay. It's actually my
Uh,
mom's leftovers, but she didn't eat very much of it, so it's basically a whole
okay.
ass meal for me.
You sound like shit now, by the way. Alright.
Yeah, you do.
Do I now, or was that just because I had vape in my mouth?
That's probably because you have the baby in your mouth. Anyway,
No,
let's,
you're extremely loud.
let's just page 3 this bitch.
Am?
Whoops.
That would be because my
Hang on one
headset.
second, I'll be right back.
I'm using my headset mic now because it wasn't playing back all my audio through it for some reason.
Bruh. Okay.
Usually it does. Here,
Let me
I
just
my
turn you
input
down,
volume
though.
turn my input volume down.
Okay, you sound better. Alright. Personal social values. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Strongly agree.
Agree. That's the one that I said you guys would probably think that I disagree with you on, but I strongly
Actually,
agree.
I'm gonna just do basic agree on this simply because this is not including rape babies and incest babies. That's if it included those two in this, I would strongly agree. Because I believe that in those two senses, it should be an option to abort.
So agree. Yeah.
Alright, I'm back. Okay, Mitchell, are you done DoorDashing?
Almost.
Okay, finish your DoorDash real quick then.
Of course you
I'm just making sure I'm not doxing myself.
are. You live on Janet's Road in
Bruh.
Bro, how you dox him like that?
Billy, we should do a prediction.
Worst fucking $34 I've spent in my life.
Oh, this widget is not available on this channel. Damn, we should have done a prediction for what Mitchell would have picked for the next one. I think I might know what the answer is.
Holy shit, how does it already have my delivery instructions? Shit. Okay.
All authority should be questioned. I
No,
agree.
you didn't do the first one, Mitchell.
Abortion when the woman's life is not threatened. Yes, I did.
Oh, well, I went to take a piss. You probably didn't. I didn't hear.
said
What'd you put
agree.
for that? I put strongly.
You put agree.
simply because it does not
Um,
include rape babies and incest babies.
Yeah. And I agree with Mitchell on that point. I did put strongly agree, but I didn't think about that at that time. Which
Yeah,
normally
that's kind of a gray area for me.
which normally is like the first point that I bring up in an abortion argument.
If it is not one of those three things, then abortion should not be legal.
He should for sure be kept.
Yeah. Roe v. Wade should be gone. That's just me.
Okay, all authorities should be questioned. I agree. That's the only thing that makes governments better is when authority is questioned.
Yeah.
An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. I agree.
It depends on the context.
Still agreed with that.
It depends on the context.
I just straight up agree with that. As basic as it can
That
get.
as well. Yep.
What? Maybe I'm not thinking about this hard enough.
No, you're thinking about it too hard.
Yeah, you're thinking about it too hard.
Oh, well then
Me
yeah.
and Mitchell agree with that on like any basis.
I forgot.
Like straight up,
Yeah, but
just for
there's,
the
like-
saying we agree.
There's like the.
It's just the general concept.
Yeah.
I know, but like, if someone kills a family, oh, that's bad. That's like an extreme. I don't know. I'll go agree. Because I think I agree with.
Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any
My
theaters or
DoorDash
museums
is
that cannot
here.
survive on a commercial
Strongly
basis.
agree.
Yeah, you guys can continue. I'm just gonna
All right,
mute
go enjoy
myself
your
whenever my
beat-ups.
dogs freak out.
I'll go strongly agree on that.
I'm
Extra
gonna
taxes
do.
are always unnecessary.
I'm gonna do an agree. I think it should be included in the taxes that they're already being taxed. It should not be added on.
I also said agree on that.
Who even goes to theaters and museums? Fucking Abe Lincoln.
I do sometimes enjoy going to museums, and I used to like going to theaters. It
Well,
just
I think-
it really depends on what's
I
playing.
think especially
Go
for
to
museums.
theaters,
You know,
and
okay,
it
you know, no,
depends
I'll
on the
go.
museum. Like
I'll go agree on that. I'll change my good to agree. I think it's
definitely.
definitely important to have museums. I don't know as much about theaters. Theaters or whatever, but museums are all absolutely important. I would say. So I'll switch my answer to agree on that one.
Okay. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I'm gonna agree with that. It shouldn't be something that's required. It should be something that is strongly encouraged.
Yeah, I would actually strongly agree with that. If you don't have the like willingness to go to class, you shouldn't have to, but you should also suffer the consequences for it, which is reflected in your grades. But I don't think that should be. I don't think you should.
I don't
your
think it
grades
should
docked
ever
for
be
not showing up.
required.
Yeah, so I'm strongly agree with that one.
All
And
people,
now I think high school might be a little different, but for college, absolutely.
I think you should be required to go through 8th grade in school. So here's my opinion on how the education system should be set up. It should be kindergarten through 8th grade, just a very general. But 7th and 8th grade, you need to have some sort of aptitude test done to decide if you're mathematical and scientific, if you're more historical, if you're more of an artistic language type of person.
And then
And
go to a
that-
school that's
No,
catered
and then
toward you.
7th and 8th grade, then you should still have all your core classes, but there should be a 5th core class then that is an extra class in
Catered to what you're good at.
Yes, catered to what you're good at, and then there should be another class then that is just like a one semester, assuming it's a 2-semester school year.
Mhm.
That should just be one semester of a general advanced of something you're not having an aptitude in. So that way you're still well-rounded, but obviously, like
A
someone
focus on
like
what you're
me,
good at. Yeah.
who is extremely good at math and science, I enjoy history, but I struggle to learn it.
Mhm.
So, like, I have to just be absolutely into it, and I have to do all the work on my own if I really want to learn something.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do all the research. I have to prompt myself to learn about it.
Yeah, I feel like that makes sense to me because I'm actually quite the opposite. I'm so bad at math, it's almost comical. But I could
Yes,
crank out
but-
like a 10-page essay in a couple hours, and I would be perfectly fine with that.
So, like, yes, you should still be required to do your 4 core classes. At least in the U.S., it's 4 core classes. And then you should have a 5th core class that is advanced of whatever you're good at. And then you should have essentially like a 6 core like period type thing. That one semester is one aptitude that you're not particularly good at, but it's still going to help you know it a little bit more. Because, like, you can't just make one full year class that's dedicated to two other things, when not everybody's going to have the same, like, strengths.
Yeah.
So it's too hard. Moving on then, all people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind.
What does that mean?
I immediately took this to a race perspective.
Yeah, me too, but I don't know if that's what they're trying to get at.
I don't think it is, but I'm going to disagree with this.
All of us have their rights, right? But it
I
is
think-
better for all of us that different sorts of people keep to their own kind.
I think
So,
with
I
all
think
of
it
us
means, like,
having their own
ideology
rights,
groups.
I think with all of us having our own rights, people are naturally going to move towards people they're similar with and groups they share the same interests with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So definitely not a race thing, but more of a...
We're not doing this from a race perspective, but people are gonna naturally. It's just the human.
you want to be around people that you agree with.
Yes, you want to be in
Yeah.
a place you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Good
disagree
parents
makes sense.
sometimes. Yeah. Good parents
strong-
sometimes have to spank their children.
Strongly agree.
I think that's
If
where
you
the
don't
world
if you don't
started
make
to
your
get
children,
fucked
they end up like fucking alt TikTok
Yeah.
fuckers. And it's like,
They end up
I
like
think that's-
Robert.
I think that's where the world got fucked up. Is people quit punishing their kids, and so everybody thinks they can get away with everything.
Yeah, if you don't
That-
punish
and
your
then it's
kids, they end up
absolutely
like
wrong.
Robert.
Who the fuck is Metis Noctis? They said Billy. Nice cock. Whoever
I
you
feel like
are,
that's
you better-
probably Brady.
no.
I couldn't tell you.
It's natural for children to keep some secrets
Well,
from their parents. I always try.
Why do they? Oh,
I'm gonna strongly agree. There's certain things you just don't want to tell other people, including your parents.
I forgot that I changed my Twitch name to my name. So I was like, well, how did they know my name? And then I was like, oh,
BP Husky.
yeah, it's not BP Husky 55 anymore.
All right.
It's because you're no longer a husky. Fuck them.
Well, I
I
mean, it
agree.
was even for like a year and a half after. 2 years
Yeah, I
actually, because we just
just-
graduated.
I literally just changed it today.
Name's
Not
just-
2 years. It's not been 2 years yet.
Billy, whoever it is, their name's Justin. That's their gaming Twitch name. You know him, bitch?
Justin
bitch.
Bowles.
I don't ask me. You guys can look at the stream chat. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Northwestern fucking blows. Yes, it is. Yes, it does.
Name's
Possessing
Justin.
marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense.
I disagree. I think marijuana. Well, I don't think. I think medical marijuana is good, but I don't think recreational.
That's
we need
Justin
it.
Miguel Fresh.
Oh,
What a
Miguel
fucking
Cop.
guy. Oh man.
uh,
I will never forget the last time I saw Justin was in college writing, right after the whole thing went down where he cheated on Jackie. That was the last time I ever saw him. All right, possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. I agree with that.
I disagree.
I don't
I
think
think-
marijuana
I
is a
don't
bad
think-
drug. I think
don't
it
think-
can be made bad by the people distributing it.
I would agree with that. I agree with the question and what Mitchell just said.
So
I understand both sides, but I don't think anything good comes from
Justin moved to
recreational.
Florida.
That's just
Are
me.
you down there with Will? Because I know Will just went down there. Oh fuck. Okay. Prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. No, I disagree with that. The primary function of schooling should
Disagreed
be
as well.
to better prepare the students to succeed in the world. It should not be to find jobs. It should be
To teach them like social skills and all that.
Yeah.
social skills, how to do things themselves, basically.
I don't know, but I still think as a
And how to
parent,
better understand what's going on around them.
Actually, yeah, no, disagree does make sense because it's like
It-
I went
it's
into college not knowing what I
essentially.
wanted to do, and then that's where you find out what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to find what you want to do for a job on your own. School can't be deciding that.
Right. Especially
And
with
that's
the very limited
that's-
selection of electives that you have in something like high
That's
school.
the issue I ran into because I'm extremely fucking good at math and science.
But I want absolutely nothing to do with either of those fields. Meanwhile, now I'm going into computer science, but
Tim
you know.
Mitchell.
Yeah, I felt like I was trapped into doing computer science because I'd done it since I was or even 8th grade.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. Like I really liked computer science at the start, but just continuing with it, I felt like that's what I had to do. And then I went
100%
into
agree with that,
agriculture.
I finally
But-
decided to not do it. Mr. Black was like, "Oh, why aren't you? Why didn't you do it?" I'm like, you know what? Shut up.
You don't even do computer science, Timothy.
Anyway,
People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. I don't want to answer this.
it's
'cause
just a
I
hot
see
take.
both
I'm going to
sides.
agree. I'm going to agree. It might be a hot take. I'm going to agree.
I disagree because there's not even a it's not a like absolute like I don't know how to explain it, but it's not a definite thing that they're
I know, but the thing is, no, it's like a lose-lose because even if they're born without a disability, their parents are disabled, whether it's inheritable or not. I think, and especially if you
well,
like,
I just
like
think
you
it's
see,
not like a definite thing that they're gonna have the disability.
I know, but like, it's just
You
so
know what?
like.
Here,
you
let's
see all
look
the-
at it from this point. Tyler,
Well, hang on,
from
hang
your
on. You see all these like Snapchat stories like born different and I love myself and all like that, and it's like you see like you're like, oh, I love them either way, but you know that they would give anything for them to be normal.
I agree.
Like they say that, but I really feel like they wish their child was quote unquote normal.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Every parent's gonna want their child to be what's perfect in the eyes of society. That's not saying that they don't already view their child to be perfect in their eyes,
Uh-huh.
but what's perfect in terms of society is not perfect in terms of a parent's eyes. In terms of a parent's eyes, their child will always be perfect.
I know, but I've seen so many stories.
Unless
of,
you're
like,
Justin. Justin is never perfect, but
I've seen so many stories of like parents committing suicide because their child is disabled, and it's like I feel bad for them. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with agree on this
okay.
one. I don't think
I feel like that just falls down to the parent being a shitty human being.
I'm putting strongly
you can-
disagree on this because from Tyler's point of view, well, I guess it's not Tyler's point of view, but from the point of view of someone that wants to look at it as they should not reproduce simply because they could pass that on. To understand someone with that shitty of a mentality, you have to get shitty with your reasoning, which
Yeah.
in my opinion is it's
Exactly what
population
Tyler was just
control.
doing.
It's simply population control. If someone has a disability like that, they're not going to live near as long, and it's, yeah, know what I'm saying?
I mean, but the thing is, if they're born with a disability, they're not gonna enjoy their lives. That's just I mean, depending on
Well,
what it is, but it's just a
That's
lifelong.
that's not a
suffering.
definite thing.
No,
No,
not
I
a
mean,
definite
there's-
thing, but
Like-
I think the question is assuming that it is 100%, or that's just how I'm taking it.
No, what I'm saying, Tyler, is that just because they have the disability doesn't mean that they're
All right, we're
gonna
spending
hate their
way too much
life.
fucking time on this. We're already to 53 minutes on the. on
We'll
the
just do a
Spotify
2-hour one. We'll just do a 2-hour one.
Might as well. All right.
Mhm.
The most important
I
thing
mean,
for
we're only
children to-
halfway through this one. It was gonna take us fucking.
The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. I strongly agree. They need to accept discipline. That's the only way you learn.
I just want to point out I've
Is
been
it the
done with
most-
this for at least 45 minutes.
Well,
What'd
yeah,
you
but
say?
we're really going into depth in it.
Yeah.
here. Is it the most important thing though? Except,
Um,
yeah, I guess. I mean, you learn more
Yeah.
through trial and error, and you learn from your mistakes. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Alright.
I would strongly agree with that one as well.
There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures.
Disagree.
I mean, my mind immediately goes to like that one tribe on an island in the middle of wherever, and they
Hey,
kill
yo.
everyone that comes to them.
I want to point out that Justin followed too.
Hell yeah. That's what's up.
It's just hard to say because that's their culture though.
Somebody else just joined too.
Yeah, we've spiked up to like 12 views before. I don't know what's true and what's not true with it, but
I honestly think I'm gonna agree with this one.
Um,
I'm
Because
I agree. I strongly
what?
agreed with that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna strongly agree because it's the culture that shapes the way the person acts.
I don't think people are just
You're not
savage by
born.
it's intuition. They're not savage at
Oh.
birth. Like they're
Oh, I was
taught to be
looking at the one
savage
underneath.
from their culture. But
Wait, home. I
Anyway.
strongly agreed with that one, but I also strongly agree with the one underneath it.
oh, absolutely. If I could go one higher, I would. That's a no-brainer right there. Those
Yeah.
who are able to work and refuse the opportunities should not accept society's support.
Strongly
Absolutely.
agree with that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
There's no question.
if you're
I
sitting
know,
on your
that's
ass collecting
strong
unemployment
indeed.
right now, fuck you.
Yeah.
Unless you literally have some autoimmune disorder, and if you get it, you're gonna fucking die, or you are literally disabled. And you're no, fuck you.
When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. I agree. I'm not gonna say strongly agree because when you're troubled, you still need to worry
normal
about it.
agree.
Too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to worry about it to an extent, but you don't need to spend all of your time worrying about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're never gonna move
that's,
on.
That's something I could learn from.
Yeah. I mean, that's really something anyone could learn from. Like, everyone's gonna spend time dwelling on on their problems
Yeah.
when they could be doing stuff that makes them happy instead of just dwelling on what's not making them happy.
All right.
Okay. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. It's
I
shitty to say, but
disagree.
I'm gonna agree with that.
I agree.
First
I think
generation-
I think it's hard to like
It's hard to
completely get rid of
move.
your old culture when you move in, because it's inevitably gonna be different.
I said disagree.
I'm not saying you need to drop your culture. It's gonna take a while for you to adjust to the place you're going, and for the people that are already there to adjust to you.
Yeah. No, I agree with that one. Why would you say disagree, really?
It's not taking into account the people who are like children when they move to the country, so they are already like forced to integrate to the country.
Reminds me of Paul.
Yeah, basically. You can't tell
By
me
the way,
Paul's
the
not
only
fully
Mexican
integrated.
I've ever met that's a fucking Republican.
I mean, his dad is a old white
Paul's not
man,
Republican.
so yes, he is.
What? Dude,
Yeah.
I remember in like
Yeah.
middle school, Paul's like, yeah, I can't believe
No,
my parents. They really.
Like now he is.
No, Paul is 100% Republican now.
That's so weird because I remember playing like mobile games with Paul in
But
middle school at night, and he'd be
it's-
like, "Man, I can't believe my parents voted for Trump. They're gonna deport us." I was like, "Well, shit, then. I'm sorry." So I thought the same thing.
It's weird because of the people he hangs out with and the people he's friends with.
I know, dude. That's even
Then
crazy.
again, but his girlfriend, to be honest.
Isn't she your cousin?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. Her family, my family, is super Republican, so
Right. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. That's crazy. All right.
of what his beliefs right now might be the same as what Mitchell suffers from, and it's relationship blinders.
Yeah, that's a fucking issue for me. If you're Justin, you just follow the pussy, but
Yeah. I don't think he's even here anymore.
I don't care. I'm still gonna shit on him.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
My story did get 62 views, though.
62.
I'll check mine because I'm curious now.
Billy, you don't have friends, clearly.
I
I'm sitting at
do.
111.
Mine's at 53, so less than Billy. There you
Okay.
go.
I just also don't post on my
Mitchell,
story.
you're
mode.
just a hoe, Mitchell.
Yeah,
So-
I kind of am. You know, Tinder's pretty cool.
I also went through and deleted like everyone that I don't actually talk to.
Bitch. Okay. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. Strongly disagree.
No, I just put normal disagree.
I don't really think there's a debate on this. Everyone should disagree with that.
Yeah,
I agree.
I put normal. I put normal disagree because it's not always, but sometimes it's ultimately going to be good for all of us. Like sometimes it will.
I don't really know about this one. I just regularly disagree.
All right. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. I'm gonna
I agree.
agree with
I agree
that.
with that one. I strongly agree with
I
that.
strongly agree with that.
I strongly agree with that.
I take that as receive public funding from like
PACs.
politician or something, or
Yeah,
like
PACs
somebody
and super
who's
PACs.
yeah.
All right, let's
And
That's
move on.
why I
inevitably,
strongly
it's
agree
going to
with that.
become unbiased then. Or biased, I mean, rather. It'd be
Yeah,
very biased of that.
why I said strongly agree because they should not.
I also strongly agree. I believe that's the whole page for there. That's 3 out of 6.
Yeah.
An hour and just crossed over an hour. All right,
Yep.
our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism.
Disagree.
I put
In
strongly
Ameri-
disagree.
In America, counterterrorism is not fucking with our civil liberties.
I put strongly disagree because it's really not.
I think in other countries it can be. That's why I'm not doing strongly disagree.
It says our.
It
so
says our. It does say
I
our.
take it as our country, where you specifically are.
So that makes sense for disagree. Strongly.
A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all arguments that allow progress in a democratic political system.
I put disagree.
A significant advantage of a
Well,
one-party
okay,
state.
let's take this how it says it, an advantage.
Yeah, I put disagree.
That is an advantage of a one-party state. I'm not saying
Okay,
that
but it's
there
also a
needs to be-
disadvantage because then they have no pushback on if they have a really dumb fucking idea.
Well, no. Here, it's. I don't think it's asking if you agree with a one-party state or disagree with it. I think it's just asking if you
It's
agree
saying
that
that's
is
an advantage, and I don't think that's an advantage because then you have no pushback if you have a dumb idea, like I said. Like, sometimes arguments are needed.
Mitchell's taking it literally, like word for word. Billy's
Yeah,
like
I'm seeing how
what
Billy's
it
saying
should
it. I'll
have
do
been.
strongly
I think Billy's like
disagree.
thinking about how it should have been. Mitchell's thinking about it very literally.
I'll do strongly disagree with that.
I disagree with that completely. Like, you need for any government to work and for it to truly like be democratic, it needs the pushback from a different point of view.
Alright, although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried.
Strongly agree. Strongly agree.
I'm gonna strongly disagree, because I know from my point of view, going into computer science, if I were to be hired by the military or the government, and they asked me to write a program like what Snowden wrote his book about, that spied on the American people, I would be all for it. I completely understand why they're wanting that. And
Yeah, I disagree on that. I think regardless of whether you're doing wrong or right, you're being spied on, and that information is not going to good people.
as the public, you do need to be worried. In my opinion, I know that I'm being watched because of my family. And
I also do, but I'm not worried about myself being watched.
I mean, I think there needs to be a level of worry, but I don't think you need to let it run your life.
I see what you mean.
I'm just gonna put regular disagree.
I'd put regular disagree. Now that I had that conversation, I disagree.
yeah, because I think the general public does need to be worried. Because I know, in my opinion, I would be all for it, and that's probably coming from a point of view of, I know
Wait,
that
can we-
I'm being watched by every government agency because of what my great uncle was involved with, and what he
Yeah.
did for his entire life.
Yeah.
For all the CPU you look up on your computer,
Maybe
iOS 15.
that too.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's why I won't get iOS 15 actually. So,
Shit.
Why?
child porn.
you just straight up said it. All right.
No.
Respect. Anyway.
The main thing I'm worried about is that they just have a bug in it, and like, because I'll admit I do have girls' nudes on there. I don't want it to like falsely
Yeah,
identify
I
something.
do, but I don't have any
Also-
minors, so.
Also, well, yeah.
I don't
but
have
if
any
you,
minors either.
If you think about it, information
So-
leaks happen more often than what we would probably like, right?
Information leaks happen all the time.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely a cause for concern.
I put strongly agree on the next one, and
Oh yeah, I strongly agree. The way I see it, I
strongly
like
agree.
no nonsense. If you murder somebody, there's a difference between murder and manslaughter, obviously. If you murder somebody, you deserve to be killed for that. You take another life, you deserve to not have a life.
Well, you know,
Now,
Tyler,
if it's
this is-
involuntary manslaughter, then you should be locked away, I guess. Depending.
I don't always agree
Hold
with
up,
the
I think
murder
my- I
thing.
think my B-dubs might be here. Just a second.
I don't always agree with everyone who commits murder should be executed.
What would be
But-
the exception?
Well, I don't agree. Like if they did one thing, and I feel like that should be. Is it not there, Mitchell?
No, not yet. It
Ah.
says it's on its way, but like
If
it
they-
says it'll take 20 minutes. I'm like, I live 5 minutes from B-dubs.
Yeah. I think that for most serious crimes, it means like mass murder or like.
So killing one person is fine.
That's not what I'm saying. Like
I know,
you
I'm
should
just kidding,
still
I'm
be
just kidding.
punished, obviously. Like
I know, I'm just
life
messing
in
with you.
prison where you're gonna die in prison anyways. Like
Okay, so that's
it
where.
should be.
Sorry.
It should. I think it should be if you commit one murder and especially for like, say a minor commit murder. They're going straight to prison when they turn 18. They're going to be in juvie, and then they're going to be in prison when they turn 18. And they're going to have life in prison.
Yeah, and that comes to a
it should
debate of
be-
with.
It should be life in prison without possibility of parole.
Yeah, and that's where the how ethical is it to kill a minor, I suppose, comes into play.
Yeah, but
I
they
just-
wouldn't
it's
kill
just
them.
so-
They wouldn't kill them while they're a minor. They'd be executed while they're
A major.
once they become an adult.
I think that so.
But what I'm saying,
if you're
I
a
don't-
minor that were to kill somebody like that, like, wasn't TK was technically a minor when he committed his first murder, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think like he should have the trial then. There should be the minimum jail sentence when you're a minor, so keep them in jail until they're 30 or whatever. I'm not saying they need to be in like a super maximum security for something like that, because I think if you're a minor, you should get out of jail. Minor. Now, there's a very rare case where a minor is literally a serial killer, and they should just be fucking. They should have their brains blown out of them the second they see
No,
them.
Ohio's produced many of them.
Well,
Yeah,
you see
Ohio
him
is
called
home
the
to it.
Zodiac Killer,
Two
or
of-
they figured his
they-
identity. I mean,
No, they.
Well, yeah, because he-
the FBI denied it though.
Oh.
They said the case is still open. That they weren't closing the case. Which that case is never going to be closed.
yeah.
No, it never
Anyway,
will
that's
be,
off topic.
but-
I just-
They're never going to give it to anybody because that'll just be giving that. Well, one that'll be
funding
ruining
purposes.
an entire family if they had a family, and two, that'll be giving too much credit to somebody who doesn't deserve credit.
Anyway,
So then that case is never going to be officially solved. Whether or not they've actually solved it or not is a different story.
yeah, that's true. Anyway, what I was gonna say was I think that's where we just fundamentally disagree, because I think that life in prison is essentially useless. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars. And I think
I don't-
if you committed a murder, you just don't deserve to live. I think life in prison isn't the
I
option.
don't agree. I think it should be life in prison without parole. You're going to die in prison anyways.
Yeah, but that's the point. Why not just fucking kill them then, so that they don't have to serve an entire life in prison?
Because,
taxpayer
so-
dollars.
Because
When you're
it's
in
unethical to
prison-
kill someone.
when you're
I'm
in
sorry,
prison
I don't
for
care.
life,
Like,
you
they
actually
killed
have the
somebody.
opportunity to be retried, and you can ask for those trials to come up.
Yeah.
And you can appeal all those, which a lot of times.
And also, what if somebody's wrongfully convicted? They just get executed, and there's no proving that they're wrongfully convicted.
yeah, and that actually happens a lot.
Yeah, that does.
That's true. I don't know.
I don't think it should just be you killed someone, death penalty. Like, if you killed multiple people, yeah, instant death penalty. They can die. But if it was one person, I don't think it should be instant death penalty.
All right, my DoorDash is right down the road. I'll be back, guys. Keep
Alright.
talking about your shit. Don't move on to the next question.
I've got big blue balls right now. I mean, that's all I got. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. How do we see the viewers?
It shows the
Oh,
It
Lily
shows
tough.
the.
Really tough.
Wait, can we see the people?
Yeah, go to the mod chat or the mod view.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't either. I just clicked on a link that'll show me. Probably.
How the fuck do I look at... Oh. Figured it out. Good ball. Yeah, we have Casino Thanks and Lily Tough, yeah.
how do you do the mod view?
Are you back at the normal view?
I am, yes.
Click the sword underneath the send a message.
Ah. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Casino
This is
thing.
what happens when you give two retards who have never done this stuff.
Yeah.
Mod. I mean, I've done mod stuff, but not on Twitch. Like, I did it on YouTube for one of our other friends who is actually in the first episode of our podcast. And I'm pretty sure Tyler and Mitchell both did as well.
We did, yeah.
We were all moderators for him.
For like a couple weeks before he stopped.
Yeah, and then he's like, he's not the type of person to get invested into something and stay invested into it. So he'll get like interested in something and start doing it, and then like a couple weeks later he'll just stop completely. Tyler.
I'm looking around. We're gonna turn off dark theme. We're gonna turn it right back on because that was horrible.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I'm in the.
Make sure you turn on the mod icons so you can like time out people, delete their comments, and
How does
ban
one go
them.
about doing that?
The sandwich by chat, and then show mod icons.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it says it's ban stuff, and then yeah. All right, turn.
Okay. I don't know why this is taking so long for him. Hey, he's back.
He's back. He's just
He's got
gotta.
the B-dubs.
Does
Where
he?
the fuck
Oh,
were you in followers only mode?
Man, I turned it off.
B-dubs.
Um, I also enabled emo only mode, and
I
then
turned it back
disabled
off.
it.
but-
Yeah, I did. I disabled follower only mode as well.
okay, I didn't see that.
Good boy.
So are you gonna eat while we do this, or?
Yeah.
Are you gonna use a fork, or are you just gonna be a little dirty more?
I've got a fork.
Okay, good.
I'm actually gonna disable my face cam for this one.
Probably not a bad plan.
Probably not.
Okay.
All right.
You guys go ahead and do the talking. I'll tell you my thoughts.
Next up we got, in a civilized society, one have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. I agree with that regularly.
Completely agree.
I
Just
also
regular
agree.
Alright. Glad we met a consensus. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Okay, this isn't really my question, because I don't really give a damn about art. I'm gonna go with disagree, though.
I said disagree I said strongly disagree, actually.
If you're just fucking I think abstract art. This is just my opinion from a person that doesn't understand art. So take it as
Abstract
what
art
it is.
is supposed to not have a meaning.
I know, and it's just bullshit. Like that's just here. I'm gonna take this bucket of red paint and this bucket of blue paint. And I'm gonna just fucking splatter it all over here, and you're gonna pay millions of dollars for that. That's just kind of dumb. I think it's more so the name. If it's some unknown,
I agree that that's dumb, but it's still art. Selling it for millions of dollars
technically.
is stupid, but it's still art.
it depends on the name. If there's a high price name attached to it, people will call anything art. They could spit in a fucking can and they'd call it. Like, I guarantee if Aaron Judge, fucking slapped his dick across a fucking 4-leaf clover and sold that online, they'd make a ton of money. Like,
A Yankees fan would definitely buy that.
the what?
A Yankees fan would definitely buy it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a big name monopoly.
That reminds me, Tyler. I'm gonna find this and send it to you.
I think you're covering your mic a little.
Am I? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I think you're good now.
That's because I shoved my mic into my mouth.
Mitch, what'd you say? Found
For
the
art,
abstract art one.
strongly disagree. I don't understand art for the most part.
Me either.
Um,
But I can understand that regular just shapes and colors don't mean anything. Aren't.
I like art, even if it doesn't mean anything. And for the most part, art, the price is driven up because of an auction. Art is mostly auctioned off. It's not just
It's
straight up
stolen.
sold.
It's stolen. Alright. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
Disagree.
I'm gonna go with agree on that one.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
Okay,
I
so
think-
that conversation we were just having about him slapping his dick on a canvas. So basically, do you guys know who FaZe Blaze is?
Yeah.
His girlfriend made him or got like this painting for him that's basically her entire leg and ass on a canvas. Like,
Okay, but were you a FaZe Blaze fan when he was FaZe Blaziken?
yes.
Good boy.
When he
You may continue
also
to be
like,
on the podcast.
oh dude, what's his? Hold on, I gotta
Just
look for
comment.
it.
What about NRMG?
No, I gotta look for it.
And then
Okay, but
Please.
have you ever watched the Poopy Clan in action? Mainly Poopy Mitch.
Please. Yo, Woki Mosabe when it came out.
We're getting off track.
That song was lit. Alright.
Alright. In criminal justice, punishment should be more than rehabilitation. I agree. I think if the punishment is harsh enough, and you're a sensible person, you're not gonna do it again.
I think
I get it. I said agree.
you have to punish people
Yeah.
'Cause that's
first
how they learn.
because otherwise there's nothing stopping them from doing it. If you're just gonna send them to rehab, then they'll
Or
just be
just
like,
not.
okay, I'll deal with however many months of rehab, and then I'll come out and do the exact same thing again.
So in the next one,
It's a waste of
I
time to
stro-
read.
I strongly agree with that
I
one
strongly agree with
because
that one as well.
of literally Mitchell's exact point that he just
It
made.
is a waste of time
Some
to
criminals, I'm
try
just gonna.
to rehabilitate some criminals.
I strongly agree because it's some criminals,
I'm
not all
completely
criminals.
I'm completely riding
but
on some
Some
criminals.
criminals. Yeah.
Yes, it is pointless to rehabilitate
like-
some criminals.
It's like trying to rehabilitate like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey
Like-
Epstein.
Also him. I mean, he did just commit suicide once he got into prison, but
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I don't know about that one.
oh yeah, he didn't kill himself. You're right. He allegedly commit suicide.
It was Bill Clinton.
No, George Bush did it.
It was George. It was Bush and Clinton.
Anybody that's his age wanted him dead.
Yeah,
They were all involved.
Yeah.
yeah.
The business person and the manufacturer, the writer, and the artist.
I disagree.
What
I'm gonna
is that?
disagree
I-
because in a
It's
way,
saying
the
that
writer
those
and the
people are
artist
more
is what's
important than-
making the business.
Yeah.
So a lot of businessmen can actually be considered to be artists because of the product they're providing.
Yeah, but it's comparing those two types of people and saying that those people are more important than the writer and the artist, which are wrong, or is wrong because they serve completely different like functions for society.
That is a sizable spider on my wall. And I'm incredibly sad that I'm going to have to kill that because I hate spiders.
Grab the
And I
fucking
do not wanna get
chancla
close to
and
it.
beat the fuck out of it.
I'm not sure. I think, do I have Kleenexes left? I have one.
Grab a
Need another box of
chancla.
Kleenexes.
You're gonna use a Kleenex?
Yes,
I always
got
grab
it.
something hard so I can't feel it.
Exactly.
He's on the edge. He's on the edge, guys. Uh-oh.
Pick it up.
Uh-oh. Oh! He just jumped. He's on
Where's
the
he at?
laptop.
Oh,
He's off the laptop. He's on the table. He's running.
Kill
Got
him.
him.
Kill him.
He escaped again. Come on.
Grab something
Trash
hard
over.
and beat the fucking spider.
He's
It's
dead.
not that hard.
I got him.
Okay.
Fuck out of here, you little bitch. There we go.
Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. I
I think in
disagree.
this day and age, I would disagree with that one.
I strongly disagree with that in this day and age.
In the 60s, maybe. But anyone could be. I mean, you could have stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom.
I strongly
I think-
agree.
Even in the 60s, in
I
like the
strongly agree.
in like the 30s, I'd agree, but the 60s, I wouldn't even agree with this.
Why would you strongly agree, Mitchell?
I don't strongly agree.
Oh,
I disagree
I disagree.
to an extent.
I-
I feel like
Why?
there should at least be one person, one parent in the family that is their
says
sole
m-
job is to make money for the family.
Yeah, but it
The
says
other person's
mothers.
job. Yes, and that's
If
why I
this
have to say
wasn't
disagree.
if this wasn't genderless, I'd just disagree. If this wasn't a gendered question, I'd just disagree. But it's a gendered question, so I strongly disagree because you can't say that the mother has to stay it has to be the homemaker. Like the dad could do the same thing. So just based on the fact that it's a gendered question, I strongly disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say disagree because, to an
I
extent,
do agree with you. I do agree with you to an extent. Somebody should be there to take care of their family.
Yes, and society should at least adapt so that that can be done because that's the problem we're seeing now. Nobody's able to be home to teach their children, raise their children. So
And,
they're
yeah,
growing
they're
up
turning out to
without
be
any
delinquents.
morals, and yeah, that's the issue.
I agree with that.
Avon
100%.
Tavius.
What?
At TikTok,
Oh.
the Jaquavion Tavius. The Beyond Scared Straight
Oh.
parody.
Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries.
What is it trying to get at here? Is it trying to
Also
point out
don't-
some
I'm
companies with
gonna disagree because, in my opinion, if you look in the past, countries conquered other lands to benefit themselves, and that's exactly what's still going on. People just don't want to admit that.
That's what annoys me when people say that America's stolen land. Like, no.
Bitch, we won that
fought,
land.
We fought for that.
We won that land.
On God.
Oh God, no cap.
I mean, you might
Just
think
like
it
we
was
had to
but-
fight for our own land that we got at the beginning.
Yeah.
We had to steal that shit right out from under fucking Britain. Like,
So what did you say? Disagree with that one?
I disagree
Yes.
with that one.
Disagree.
Makes sense. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. What does it mean by the establishment? Like the government? Or am I missing
I
something?
think just in general, making peace with whatever. So basically,
So I agree
accepting
then.
that you can't control everything, and you have to.
So that's
accept
that's just
that-
like a clear, strong agreement, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You need to be able to accept that you can't control everything.
Next page.
Religion. Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree.
Okay, please kill yourself if you believe in that. Sorry, you didn't hear that. I'm kidding.
You cannot be moral without being religious.
I disagree with that as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I would even strongly
just do
disagree.
I'm gonna do a regular disagree because I think that religion has a lot to do with why the human race has moralities at all.
But I feel like even atheists know that murder is bad. Maybe that's an extreme example, but
Yes, but that's now.
acts of kindness, maybe.
That is now, and that's after. You have to look back at the atheist ancestry. At some point, there was somebody with a religion that taught those morals.
That's fair.
All morals can be traced back to religion, but now you don't have to be
Not
religious
as
to have
well.
morals.
Not-
Yeah, you for sure do not have to be. That's a strong
Charity?
disagree from me.
Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged.
I disagree.
I'm going to strongly disagree. I don't think that anybody should rely on charity. Charity is a good thing, and nobody should take advantage of it, meaning that they should not rely on it. If you're relying on charity, you're taking advantage of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Social Security, you
You
pay into
rely
that, you reap what
on
you-
charity.
Social Security, yeah, you pay into it. That you deserve that.
Yeah,
you
to
reap
rely
what
on
you sow.
charity, inherently you're
You're
relying
playing the
on other
system.
people.
Some people are naturally unlucky. I disagree.
I strongly disagree with that.
Why though? I would agree with you, but I want to know what you guys think. Why?
So nobody's born lucky or unlucky. Like, it's completely what you make of your own life.
That's true. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean,
It's who you surround yourself with, what you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
there's fortunate and less fortunate, but not necessarily lucky and unlucky. I would,
Yeah, exactly. That sums it up completely.
that makes a lot of sense to me. So strongly disagree.
Yeah.
I would go with that.
All right,
Is it
this
important that
next
my
one.
child's school instills religious values? This is personal
I
preference.
strongly
100%.
disagree with that one.
I am going to say agree
I'm gonna say regular agree. That's just how I was raised.
because, yeah. So
Hey,
I have, in the last like year or so, I've personally decided I was going to take religion more seriously, and that's something I want my kids to take seriously, simply because it does, whether it's real or not, true or not, if you pick the right religion or whatever, that part doesn't matter as much as in terms of the morals. Going back to morals, what the religion teaches you. All religions essentially teach you the same thing, which is why I think it's unjust to say that, like, the big thing for me is Islam and Christianity. Maybe I don't understand Islam as well as other people do, but in my
Yeah.
opinion, they're not that different. Like, they teach the same general principles, how you should treat other people, how you should be.
They just do it in a more old-fashioned sense, I would just say. 'Cause
Yeah.
They still like they don't give rights to women and all that. Or maybe that's not Islam. Maybe that's something else.
Well, it's still Islam and Muslim, whatever you want to call it. They don't, and that they're starting to now.
That's just their generally accepted religion.
But, like,
principles.
those Middle Eastern countries, for how close they were to Europe, a lot of them actually being in Europe, they were fairly closed off to the rest of the world. In term, like, when the Renaissance was going on and the Enlightenment, they were fairly closed off to the rest of the world, so they didn't develop at the same time. So their Renaissance period, Enlightenment period, whatever, is happening now. So that's why now you're starting to see them slowly.
Okay, so
Change?
back to the question. I do agree that religion should be important, but
For me personally, I'm not expecting the school that I send my kids to teach religion, because the only way you can do that now is sending them to a Catholic school,
yeah.
Christian school, like religious school like that. And
So what I'm saying
I
is,
don't
I don't
like
think it-
what those kids turn out to be, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
send
I
my
think
kid
I-
there.
straight up
I don't-
teaching atheism.
I
bad.
disagree with this purely because I think, yes, religion is an important thing. Depending on the person, obviously, like it's not important to everyone, but and school is obviously an important thing, but I think they should be separated from each other. I don't think that they should be like intertwined.
And I get that. I can see where you're coming from.
So for me, more is, I would say the school needs to teach the general moralities. Evolution, in my opinion, should be taught, because evolution has been proven to be true.
Okay, I agree with that, but
But
you
for me,
do you not remember
I'd take
world
it.
history us being taught about like the different branches of like Christianity or
And that
Uh,
the thing is, that is important for understanding the history of the
Yeah.
Renaissance, because that
yeah, we were
That-
taught about that stuff. It's just it's not made a giant thing for
It's-
school, which
you're
it
not-
shouldn't be.
you're not teaching the religious values and basically being forced to be a certain religion. You're learning about how the world came to be the way it is right now.
I think the way that our school did it was
You
good.
can
They
actually
had-
learn
they
their
just had
values. You
elementary
just
school.
don't. They're just not biased. They don't tell you which one is essentially right. Like
Yeah, so
people would
basically
want.
the way I'm taking this is, I think my school should instill the morals that are often accompanied by the religion, or that are taught by the religion as well. But I would personally take it a step further, and my kid would be in a Sunday school at church. I'm not saying we need to go to church every
I
Sunday,
I agree
Wednesday,
with that.
whatever.
I
But
agree with that. Mine will also be because I grew up going to Sunday school and
so
stuff.
that Sunday school is still a school. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Okay, but it's not a school though.
But okay,
It's-
so the public school my kid goes to needs to teach the morals that are accompanied by, or that accompany religion, and they need to teach
Yeah, but it shouldn't
how the different
instill the
religions
religious
came to be.
values into people.
No, but adding to the schooling is the Sunday school in the church, which is technically a school, whether you want to say it is or not. It technically is. A school is anything that teaches you something. Your home can be
Church in
considered
general
a
is
school.
a school though. But,
Yes.
but this specifically is meaning like the normal education system.
Yeah. Oh well.
We can move on. We've gotten our points across. We can move on.
A look at sex.
Yep.
Sex outside marriage is immoral. Religiously, yes. Outside of religion, I strongly disagree. It is a completely natural thing.
I knew you were gonna disagree with me on that.
I would
With
agree.
me,
I put agree.
Tyler,
Yeah,
are you agreeing with this, Tyler?
I agree with it.
I mean, it is right. I told you I'm not an atheist, right?
I also think it's immoral. I'm not an atheist either, but I think it's immoral.
I mean, I'm thinking of it in a religious sense, right?
Yeah. So the way I'm looking at it is religiously, yes. So I guess I shouldn't strongly disagree. I'm going to say disagree, mainly because I like to fuck.
I figured.
Religiously, yes, it is immoral.
Yeah,
But in the
it's
terms
not
of the
saying-
world and nature and the way all that is, it's not.
Yeah, but it's going with your own beliefs, so you take the question as you will.
Yeah, there's no wrong.
The,
answer
see,
to this, I think.
the problem is with this political compass thing. I know the sides it's gonna give me and what the question is like
So the
gonna
next
give
one-
me.
This next one is an obvious where it's gonna put you, but
Yeah, a same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. I actually agree with this.
I also agree
Surprisingly.
with that.
Anymore, I don't see... Religiously, I do not agree with same-sex marriage, relationships.
Religiously, I also don't agree. I also don't disagree, though.
But in terms of... Also with religion, at least
Because
Christianity-wise, you're supposed to be tolerant. And
Yes,
you're supposed
and
to accept people
also-
the way they are. You're supposed to spread the word of
and
the
also,
Bible.
Not the sin.
But you can't
yes,
force people to think a
biblically
certain way.
is a sin, but people commit so many other sins on a daily basis, and the whole point of Christianity and being a Christian is accepting Jesus like into your heart, obviously, and that He will forgive you for your sins.
But I feel like using that as a crutch to say, "Oh, well, doing this isn't that bad."
That's the
is
thing.
kind
It's
of a
not
flawed
supposed to be
argument.
used as a crutch.
I'm not
It-
using it as a crutch. I'm just saying I don't like Mitchell said, you're supposed to be tolerant as
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
anymore.
like, do I
That's
think
where
a gay
I get
person
to.
or a gay couple is going to be exempt from heaven because they're gay? No. Do I think it's obviously it's not? Yeah, it's a disagree from a Bible sense, right? And you guys might not like me for this, but I'm going to put disagree because I personally just think that a child should grow up with one mom and one dad. Just tradition. very
opinion,
traditional.
but go fuck yourself. Anyways, move on.
All right,
I
pornography
figured-
depicting consenting adults should be
Strongly
legal for the
agree.
adult population.
Strongly agree.
I
I disagree.
disagree with this.
Why?
I think porn is bad. Porn is very bad.
It is. It sets standards that has honestly ruined a lot of things for me. But
I'm
it's
nothing, bro.
legal anyways, so I'm gonna abuse the fuck out of it.
Okay.
I'm
And I
actually
think
gonna put
Tyler-
disagree.
I think
I-
Tyler's with me on this because I know the man watches porn.
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
I agree.
It's
I,
there. It's
I, dis-
available. That's the
I
problem. It's
agree
so
with what
readily
you guys
available.
are saying, so I disagree with that as well.
It's there and it's available, but it should not be.
I
Yeah.
really don't think it should be. It's just bad in every way. It's addictive, right? It sets standards. For
Standards
what,
that
it sets bad standards. It
For
just shouldn't- it shouldn't
what
be.
people think sexual encounters will be like.
All right, what goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. I strongly agree.
I agree.
The government
also
should be
agree
as
with that.
small as possible. In my opinion, it's there for
I 100%
protection,
agree.
and with the protection, it also comes with they need to set standards for education. They need to collect taxes to be able to protect you. This and that, and all that shit. But a government should not be involved in any way whatsoever in your personal life.
Hi, Addie. Thanks for watching and being disappointed.
Addie.
Who's Addie DeSanto?
Yeah. She just texted me and asked what the fuck she's watching. And said who all was in this stream.
Don't dox us.
I
Well,
said me, Mitchell, and Tyler, and she went,
oh, yeah.
oh,
I turned-
she went, oh, okay, I didn't recognize Mitchell's voice.
Yeah.
Wait, how should I know I was? I don't think I've ever talked to Addie.
Surprisingly,
No, I think
Tyler,
it's more so- What?
a lot of people in our school knows who Tyler is off of his voice.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know it.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
also
fucking
think-
people know
I
you,
also
Tyler.
think her point was more so she knows Mitchell, but she didn't recognize his voice.
Yeah, I sound different and I act different from when I was with Julia, which is probably the only time she ever really.
Yeah, it for
Knew
sure
me?
was.
So, and I never even talked to Addie, so
He's become a lot better of a person than he used to be.
I'm
Addie.
not completely an ass. I'm a good
Well-
Republican. I guess we'll find out if I'm even Republican.
I think it's safe to say you might be, but
No one can feel naturally homosexual.
I'm not inputting in this one.
I don't want to input either.
Let's go to the next question.
Wait, what is it?
No
These
one
days,
can feel
openness-
naturally homosexual.
These days, openness about sex has gone too far.
About sex.
I agree.
I'm gonna
likewise.
I'm gonna agree too, even though I am
agree. I
extremely
don't
open.
strongly disagree, but I don't strongly agree, but I agree.
I agree,
Yeah,
and
I put strongly
I'm
agree.
someone who is extremely open about my sex life.
Yeah, you are. You
Um,
really are.
Yeah, Addy. He meant to say who's Addy, and then he just finished it with Addy DeSanto because he realized who it was.
These days, openness about sex does it mean sex as in the act or as in the like
No,
I think-
it means
I think
openness
both
about sex.
ways.
It means like
gender?
how mainstream and um
And either way,
and
like
some people
both
are
ways, I
talking about
agree
it.
that
Yeah,
it's
no, but-
gone too far.
Both
Yeah.
ways, I put strongly agree.
I put
think that's
strongly
none
agree
of
for
my
both
business.
ways
I
as
don't
well.
care.
No, I put normal agree for both for either way.
I put strongly agree.
All right, let's see Mitchell. I bet I know where Mitchell is gonna be.
Oh,
Oh, you
shit!
have
I
to
gotta
fin- you have to
answer.
answer that.
I don't want to answer this on stream.
Wow, I am
Different
I am
tab.
surprised. I am thoroughly
Alright.
surprised.
I agree with no one can feel naturally homosexual, because if you look in nature, other animals that don't have the society we do, none of them are naturally homosexual. And in the end, all people are animals. I feel like it is the society, culture, whatever, that puts the thought in people's mind that this is a thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be homosexual. I disagree with it from a religious standpoint, and every other standpoint, I do not care. So yeah, I do agree from a from a natural perspective. No one naturally feels homosexual. It's
Alright, move on.
society, but yeah.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I am thoroughly surprised by this outcome.
All right, let's scroll down. Farther down.
What the
Farther
fuck?
down. Yup. Yup.
What?
I'll send you guys mine now.
Oh,
I'll put mine in the
shit.
group chat.
That's what
Tyler's
I'm doing.
authoritarian, right? He's as far up
No,
right
dude.
as he can get.
Look at that.
Mine's not far off from Mitchell's. Mine's just a little bit farther libertarian
this
than
is
Mitchell's.
so far out of what I expected. Mitchell's a
How am I more liberal than both of you?
Are you farther? Are you more liberal than
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Oh, barely though. I'm just more libertarian than you.
I am. I
All
am
you bitches that are into astrology, hit me up.
I'm a left. I voted for Biden all of a sudden.
Oh my
I'm
God.
100% surprised by this.
I am too.
I will be 100% honest. I really expected more up, more right.
I'll be right. I'll be back. I
I'm not
expected
surprised
to
by
be
you.
right about where I am because
I'm not surprised about Billy's. I am surprised about Mitchell's though.
I'm not that surprised about Mitchell's. Because currently Mitchell's thinking on his own.
You're still not voting for Biden though, right, Mitchell?
No, I'm not voting for Biden.
I'm just
Vote for Biden. Go fuck yourself.
Billy voted
I'm
for Biden,
I'm not opposed to a Democratic president by any means, but Joe Biden.
but not Joe Biden.
He's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy. He's just.
I mean, should we just make it 3 hours and we can talk about some of our other
I
points?
mean,
feel like
we
I'm
were
down for
originally
that.
planning on 1 hour to talk about all this fucking shit. So
I mean, we have an hour. We go to 3. We just do like a marathon.
yeah, might as well. I'm fucking sweating my ass off, but okay.
Turn a fan on or something.
It is on.
Did you show them our
Yes.
responses? Okay.
All right. Whenever Billy gets back, we'll talk about the rest.
I'm here.
Oh.
But I'm getting ready to go take my mom a water bottle real quick because apparently she
Alright.
can't grab the one
That's
herself.
fine. What do you got time?
Go get it. You're good.
I'm actually really surprised about that.
I am too.
I feel like all of our answers would be slightly if we did it on our own, but not.
Bro,
not
we got
much.
ourselves 6 followers now. Holy shit. Already more successful than my 2-year-long streaming career.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm not wrong.
Hey, you want to play Valorant instead?
I did download Gas Station Simulator, so I'm interested to see what the fuck that is.
Oh, Mitchell. I hate to
What do you want,
I hate
bitch?
to break this to you, but there's 2 podcasts on Spotify named Toxic Ass Friends Podcast and Toxic Friendship Podcast.
Well,
when I
we're the
look it up-
Toxic Friends podcast, so
And it doesn't show up when I look it up.
just give
Big-
it a little bit.
Big L. Big old L.
Well, you know, we're not really trying to push for a Twitch right now, but it's just kind of an extra way that it takes no extra effort to do Twitch.
Yeah.
So might as well. Shade Vontavious.
It's good.
Shade Vontavious. You fucking bitch. I wonder if I can look at the views for the Spotify. Or like streams on Spotify.
0.
Should be able to sign in.
Look it down and look it up. Not behind. You could put the Spotify in your story as well.
I could. Analytics. Hey, 3 listens already on it?
Probably me.
Yeah, probably all of us.
What?
Nothing. All been on. Hold up. All on. Oh, wait. No. PC. Mac. It says 100% on PC. Wait a minute.
What?
It says we have 1 download in the US, 1 in Ireland,
That might be a mistake.
and then 1 in like Belgium area. What the fuck?
We've gone global.
Yo.
We are global.
Downloads.
We're pretty good at this. Look at Cece's story.
Hershey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, it's on her private. So it says there's nothing more satisfying than a clean room. I slid up and said, there is one thing. She says, do I even want to know?
Send her the podcast link.
Yeah.
The podcast.
Oh, wait.
How's it going?
For
everybody?
sure not the one thing Mitchell was talking about, but send her the podcast link.
Really tough casino. Thanks. Another viewer and Addie. Hello everyone.
Yeah.
Fuck,
She
I
doesn't want to watch it unless I'm on, and I told her not to. She doesn't want to.
fucked
No,
up
for
the
real.
link.
Like if you don't want to, we don't want it. Feel like they have to. Well, Billy's back. You got your mom what she need.
There. I sent her the link finally after fucking it up twice.
Just look in the Twitch chat. I sent this.
Oh, Spotify? Yeah.
I put that on my story too, because you know.
All right, Billy.
I say we start with the border. I feel like that's a pretty big cause for concern now.
You spelled border wrong for one, but
So, what
okay.
about it?
Whatever, shut up.
What's your opinion on the border right now, Billy?
I honestly don't know what's going on at the border right now.
Just the same shit that's been going on with the convoy coming across, trying to, whatever.
It's like, and we're it's not like we're just letting them in too, which is what you would expect. but we're keeping them like, for lack of a better term, in internment camps. Like we kept the damn Japanese. Like they're
I don't
coming
think
in,
Trump ever kept kids in cages near to the extent that
Biden is.
which is crazy. The fact
Like,
that Biden
yes-
continued the construction of the border wall is stuff of like legend. But for I don't really know how else to phrase it. It's like he. I don't really know what the word is, but like it's like fantasy. You really wouldn't expect it. They're two
I
polar
did it. I
opposites.
did read something about them. About a sheriff of a Texas town, basically like.
Oh, he said that in his county they will not mandate the vaccine, and
No, it was that with all the people that are crossing the border right now, in their
Okay.
town, they're basically just throwing their hands up. They're not doing anything about it.
I can't hear you, say, Billy. You were cutting out a little bit.
yeah, you sound like shit. Go back to your shitty mic on your keyboard, please.
Fuck. Pardon my French.
Keegan just said, I was on it live for Mitch and he wouldn't answer my chat.
He wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, we for sure did not get a
Yeah,
chat.
Keegan didn't say anything.
Yeah, unless it was while you guys had it set to followers only.
I really doubt that.
That was literally for like 3 seconds.
All
How
right,
bad do I
so
sound right now?
I just think it's interesting. Let's look at the numbers.
turn your
Yeah.
volume up a little bit more, Billy. Go back to what it was, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Am I good now?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna turn it all the way up. What I said was, the sheriff that I was talking about said that with all the people coming across the border in his, like, jurisdiction, they're basically, like, just throwing their hands up. They're not doing anything about it.
I mean, there's so many. It's
Yeah,
hard to do anything.
exactly. That's his point. They're just throwing their hands up because they can't really do anything about it.
And the Biden administration is just comical at this point.
The person that he has in charge of border security and just in general the borders and foreign affairs refuses to go to the countries that need the attention that need the attention.
Haiti.
Instead, she's going out to vacation countries, or she's going to countries that she's pushing a feminist agenda, which, okay, I'm not saying that's bad. But when there's more pressing issues happening or going on that concern Americans.
Like 14,000 Haitians trying to come into our country.
Yeah, that's a bigger issue than talking to the Vietnamese people who are they're going to be after China, after Afghanistan, after every Islamic country. Vietnam is going to be the very last country to say that, oh, women can be educated.
There gender studies in Pakistan. What do you think about that?
If you have a gender studies classroom in Pakistan, it's just a bomb target.
Facts.
Approximately 50,000. The San Ysidro port of entry is located between San Ysidro, California, and Tijuana, Baja California. Approximately 50,000 vehicles and 25,000 pedestrians use this entry daily in the U.S. I-5 crosses directly to Tijuana, and the highway's southern terminus is this crossing. That's a lot. That's a lot. That don't need to be happening, because there's no enforcement. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
Let's move on to.
And that's not to say that there's like we don't want people here. We have not a quota, but like a cap, right? And I think that cap, once it's met, you shouldn't invite any more people in, which might sound bad, but
I think
Alright.
just in Americans, we're already at that cap.
yeah. And it's not like we don't want people to come in. This is the greatest country in the world. If you want to come in, that's fine.
You have to
But
go
do
through
it
the
legally.
proper
You have to do
channels,
it
though.
legally.
Yeah.
And if you have nothing to hide, if you're completely clean, there's no problem with it. I mean,
Yeah,
head on in.
the people that aren't trying to hide something, that are genuinely just wanting to come here for the opportunity, they're doing it the proper way. They're not trying
Although
to get...
right now I will say it's kind of fucky just because it's just because of COVID, but really it'll
Even if
get better. It'll end up getting better. Like most things have gotten better since COVID started. Like because it was real shit when COVID started. Everything was really shit.
Right.
But most things have gotten better. They're not back to where they used to be, but they've gotten better. That will for sure get better, and we will allow more immigrants to come in again. Just legally.
Right. Yeah, no, and there's, again, not that I have any say in politics, but if you come in legally, we don't have a problem with you, right?
Yeah.
So just do it legally. Like, I just
Exactly.
don't understand. Like,
All
trying
right.
to
I don't
escape
understand
it.
why foreign policy is such a big issue.
All right. What's the next topic?
We got plenty.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Yeah, Mitch, you want to pick one, or you want me to go?
I just wanted to go to... well, I wanted to go to the socialism thing, but I think we should save that for last.
That's
BLM, I don't think there's a whole hell of a lot to talk about with that.
yeah, that hasn't already been talked about.
Yeah.
Other than just where we stand in our opinions, but I don't think that's really necessary.
Police reform, I think that police officers need to be trained a little bit more than 6 months.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying they can't be in the force at 6 months. Something needs to happen there, but not all police officers are as bad as what people are leading them on to be.
It's just the outliers. It's the very specific.
Yeah, the problem is
black
it's
victim.
yeah, that's the only thing getting attention.
Yeah, but you don't get attention to black cop
Literally
white
anything else.
victim or white cop white victim,
Or black
anything
cop, black
like
victim.
that. Yeah.
And that's another thing. Nobody is really putting focus on black crime.
Yeah.
It's only white on some minority.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's. I think the police are just a gateway to target white people.
They're a scapegoat. It's the easiest thing to go to.
Yeah, I agree.
Because in the end, yes, they do have the authority and the jurisdiction to physically restrain somebody. And unfortunately, bad things happen sometimes when they have to physically restrain you.
Yeah.
But if you have to be physically restrained to that extent, that's your own fault.
Yeah, you had it coming. You cooperate, you deserve respect. You get respect, unless it is genuinely a bad cop. But that's just
we can.
I was gonna say, have you guys seen the video of the military officer that did everything he was told and then got pepper sprayed while he was sitting in his car?
I might have saw it on Reddit or something, but I don't remember it. And also, I was just wanted to say, like, just because it was fresh in my mind, like, I can't remember where it was, but it was like a Hispanic man that shot up like a supermarket. It might have been Boulder, Colorado, which I think happened earlier this year. But it was a Hispanic man, and before they knew the identity of the shooter, everyone was like, "Oh, this is why gun control, white people." And then the story came out, the identity came out, and then everything was dropped. Like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's a big issue as well. Is the media is an issue.
Yeah, we can say guns.
Here, Mitchell.
That's another topic. But...
Mitchell, watch this, but mute it, obviously, because it's a news clip.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. They had no reason to pepper spray.
No, and that's completely unjust, right? There's going to be.
Yeah. But that's
people.
but I
like
agree. I agree that it's an outlier. Like
people like that don't deserve to be.
That's specifically on that person.
100%.
That's not on the entire police force. You can't like justify taking down a whole organization by saying it's corrupt because of
and we've seen the effects of that. You think of like Minnesota, I
Outliers.
believe. Minnesota, they cut their funding in half or something like that for police, and their crime skyrockets.
Yeah.
And it's like, what were you expecting? This
Yeah.
is
What
exactly
like genuinely? What do
happens.
you expect?
And then it's
Oh.
white people or whatever. It's crazy. And then like the fact that the media, to keep going back on it, they're gonna show this, and they're gonna say this is just an example of why police blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Or this is an example because white people blah blah blah.
Also, for the BLM thing, all I'm gonna say, because you did bring it up briefly, is I agree with the concept of
But the movement is
BLM,
the problem.
but
It's everything. See,
the
I agree
organization
with the
itself
concepts.
is awful.
Yeah, I agree with the concepts of all of this shit, but the way they're going about things.
It's
Yeah,
just
no,
wrong.
It's
there's
wrong.
there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
civil
it's
rights,
wrong.
obviously.
Yeah, obviously, like it's something that does need to be talked about, and
And that's
it
the
does-
issue I had with Trump there at the end of his presidency, when I was probably at my most liberal point. I didn't like the way he went about addressing issues and fixing issues.
Well, that's because he was really bad in a PR standpoint. Dude was an absolute mess PR.
But from a
Yeah.
get shit done standpoint, which is what a president is, a president's not really PR.
Mhm.
You
I mean,
you
it
either
is
have to
now.
be 100% PR, or you have to be 100% get shit done.
Yeah.
There's
Biden's
no
just a figurehead.
middle ground. I think
I think the
Uh,
problem with Trump was he was more PR than get shit done. Towards
think
the end, towards the
FDR and Reagan are probably the only two that accomplished both.
yeah,
I forgot Jimmy Carter. No, I'm kidding.
Jimmy Carter was very good at addressing the nation. He did not get shit done.
Jimmy
yeah,
Carter was an
that's
awful president.
that's what made him like one of the worst presidents because he did absolutely nothing.
He got elected purely because the people
He-
knew him
Yeah,
and they felt like they could connect to him, which I'm not saying is a bad thing.
it was because he was good in the eyes of the public, but he didn't.
He was
couldn't
a
actually
horrible
do
politician.
anything. Yeah,
He was
didn't-
essentially a figurehead, which
yeah.
either the president needs to always be a figurehead.
Which is what Biden is. Kind of.
At this
Yeah.
point, yes, that's what Biden is. He's just
It's
a
just
horrible
his-
person to have as a figurehead.
Yeah,
You need someone like
not.
I don't think anybody
I really don't
can.
think they're-
I don't think anybody can honestly say that they think Biden is running this country.
Yeah,
No.
no, for sure. Definitely not.
No.
And
It's
I really,
for sure a mixture of the first lady and the vice president.
not the first lady. The
No, the first lady.
No,
the
she
first lady
is.
is his wife.
Yes,
Yeah, I
she
know.
is doing quite a bit of his job right now.
Yeah.
She's taken up the role that
Yeah.
Dr. Jill.
FDR's
The
wife.
Yeah, it's the same thing FDR's wife did.
I thought you meant Kamala.
Well-
Yeah, it's a mixture of her and his
Oh,
wife.
sorry, you said okay. My bad.
Yeah, I
misheard
said it's a mixture of the first lady and the vice president.
you. Okay, yeah, my bad. I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah. But yeah, his wife right now is basically doing the same thing that FDR's wife did for like I think it was the last 3 years of his last term.
No, because he was 3 years into that term and he just won the
Okay.
election.
So-
it was only like a year.
So
when
yeah, it
his
was
polio
the last
got
year
really
of his
bad.
last term. Yeah. And he couldn't function very well because of his polio.
Yeah. And I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the only time that he wasn't. He did everything over the radio. I don't think he did anything on TV too much.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
he did
also
towards
that was
the end.
also kind of with the time it was though.
Yeah, that
There-
was coming right out of the Great Depression. Not many people had TVs.
Yeah.
They were around there, but
But it obviously just came out of the Great Depression. Like
yeah.
most families wouldn't have had that.
But yeah. Anyways,
Oh,
let's
Larry
move on.
Another
Bishop, you
topic.
can't hear Billy.
What? You can't hear me?
Mitch, just turn him up.
What?
Every time Billy talks, the waveforms are going up.
I don't
again.
understand. Can you hear me, Mitchell?
I can hear you, and OBS is hearing you.
Okay.
Is hearing you.
Why is
Can you hear
Twitch
me?
not? Because I can't
Wait.
hear myself on Twitch either.
Shut up. Wait. Shut up.
Yeah, nothing's. Why is?
Wait, Tyler, talk.
Hello?
Can you guys hear Tyler?
No, we can't hear Tyler on Twitch
Can't
either.
be there.
All right.
We're 2.5 hours into this. Bro. Well, if
Well,
OB
if OBS heard us, that's
yeah, it'll
good.
be on Spotify.
Yeah, but this entire fucking stream has just been Mitchell talking to himself.
Essentially.
No wonder Addie said she couldn't hear me.
Okay. Yeah, something's fucked up with.
The audio settings.
I
Ah,
can
great.
fix it
Well,
right now.
Well, as long as OBS gets it, that's fine. Twitch wasn't even the main thing way.
There.
Oh,
Talk
there it
now.
is. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear myself now.
Yeah. For some reason, the
Yeah, I
Okay,
can hear
I got
myself
Billy
now
now.
too.
the stream version wasn't picking up the second audio track that I had you guys put on.
That's wacky, bro. All right, where were we? I forgot.
We
forgot.
were just about to move to a new topic.
Yeah. Let's go to socialism. I'm getting tired.
Okay.
So, all right. Socialism in terms of college.
What were the
I-
three?
College, healthcare,
Yeah.
and minimum wage.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Like, what is there to say? It's just like
Yeah, what do you
What does
mean
everyone
in
think,
terms
but-
of college?
These are Tyler's things. But,
I know. I literally just looked up current topics. This shit come up.
Does it
I
mean
mean,
like
is there-
free college for everyone? That's what I'd
Uh,
assume it means.
well,
that's what I'd
that's the-
assume it means. Yeah, like
that's the socialist view on things. I believe it's the
yeah,
free,
I'd
free
assume.
college, free healthcare, and then the $15 minimum wage, which I don't know if that's. I kind of just associated that with socialism. I believe I thought that's what it was, but I'm not 100%. I think I just assumed.
I don't know.
That might be more of just a democratic, or not democratic, but a Democrat.
It's an extreme left perspective. Because
I mean, we're kind
a
of
true Democrat does not. It's only a social thing. It's not an economic difference between Democrat and Republican.
Yeah.
The problem is now. I mean, you got to remember that Democrats and Republicans literally started as the same thing, and up until 100 years ago, they were the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the Republican.
They weren't
Democratic
yeah, they
Republic
weren't
Party.
separate parties until I think after.
I remember that.
Right around World War One.
Yeah, I think it was like I think it was in the 1910s when they became separate parties, and they became the two main parties.
Yeah, it was a Democratic Republic
And-
Party, I believe.
If I remember right, it was simply just a difference in social issues. It had nothing to do with economics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is I assume is why most of our presidents all still align to the right.
Fiscally conservative.
Yeah.
1824 is actually when it split.
Oh damn.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was.
Huh.
But I don't think the two economically up like at all really. It's always been a social difference between them. It's just up until like the last 20, 30 years that economically it's gotten different.
So just the Socialist Party in and of itself has come into not existence because it's existed, but more prevalence in the United States.
It is yes, simply
Yeah.
because it's not under the term of socialism anymore because nobody wants to accept that.
Democratic socialism.
It's not even democratic socialism now, it's just democratic. And the problem is nobody wants or is willing to admit that something
I'm sorry, I just watched Mitchell push his boom arm up and then it slided right back down.
This mic is so fucking heavy.
I just
like-
watched him push it up and it just slid
It's
straight
moving.
back
It's
down.
moving my monitor mount.
Yeah, I can see it's moving your whole ass webcam.
yeah.
Fucking hate it. I hate it so much. I'm getting a new desk so it can be mounted to the desk.
Yeah. Wait, it's not mounted to your desk?
No, it's mounted on my monitor arm.
Why?
No place to mount it to on my desk.
How?
This mic is too heavy. So, my desk, the sides, there's only like a half-inch gap or overhang.
Yeah.
And it doesn't clamp down enough. And really, Tyler, fuck off.
Bruh.
The sides are only, or the mount itself, like the clamp, it doesn't get enough of it on, so the weight of the mic will just yank it right off my desk. So.
Mitchell's mic is as fat as he is.
Almost.
Tyler, you're fucking stupid.
I know. She's not even here, so. Anyway,
Yeah.
where were we? We're talking about democratic socialism, and Democrats. I don't know. Did anyone have any input?
Okay, so no, it started off as how we view socialism in school, healthcare, and the minimum wage thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off with the minimum wage.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm in the personal belief that raising the minimum wage just causes inflation and raises the cost of living wherever you raise minimum wage at.
Yes.
So essentially, it just does nothing. In a sense.
Yeah, essentially, if you raise
bad,
minimum
it's
wage,
not
it's
good.
just gonna end up balancing out anyways.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not good.
And
It
then
is good temporarily, but in the end, it always ends up bad.
Socialism in school, I do not personally believe that college should be free.
Yeah, I think
Definitely
you
should not
you
be.
reap what you
I
sow.
think
You
you
get what you
should
put
for
in.
sure have to pay, but I don't think that tuition prices should be what they are.
Well, that's the
I'm
thing,
not.
though. Like,
I'm not even worried about tuition. So here's my thing with education. I 100% believe, like what I said earlier, like an hour and a half ago, when we actually talked about this, that schools should be from kindergarten through 6th grade. Should just be general. 7th and 8th grade, you need to have a primary focus in a certain discipline aspect, whether it's math, science, history, art.
Mine for sure would have been
English,
history.
whatever. Yeah. So you need to have a discipline then. And then from there, when you go off to high school, you should have your freshman, sophomore year where you should have to essentially do a trade. So this is the problem with America. There's no trade workers anymore, and that's simply because you have to go to a trade school to be able to do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
trades are
if
in
you-
very high demand right now.
If you have a required trade school, then you get rid of that problem. You make people more self-sufficient, and you help them get a better understanding of
Also-
how the rest of the world works. And then
I really
11th and
do want
12th
to stress trade schools are so important to our society.
yes,
Also,
Absolutely. I think my uncle did that. He went to
also,
trade
if you have the chance to go to a trade school, go to it.
yeah, 100%.
It only betters you as a person, for one.
I'd
For
say the
two-
way it's set up right now, at least in Ohio, you either need to go to a trade school your junior and senior year in high school, or earlier if you can do that, or you need
Yeah.
to do a college credit plus thing.
Yes,
You
I
can't.
agree.
You can't decide after you finish high school what you're going to pursue then and start from square one at that point.
Yeah.
You're going to be too far
Um,
behind, and you're going to spend your life up until you're 25, 26 just to figure out what the fuck you're going to do. At that point, when you're
Yeah.
25, 26, you should be married already. You should already be you should already have a kid or be working on having a kid. Whether it's you're getting a house with whoever you're with to be able to provide a good life for the kid, or you're just waiting on getting enough money set aside to be able to have the kid and afford it.
And be able to
But at
afford
that point,
providing
you should
for
be thinking about that.
yeah.
No,
were you gonna say
I
something?
understand that having kid. Yeah.
My
Tyler, I
last
was.
point for the trade school though was, if you have the chance to go, it only betters you as a person, and as we already said, they're in high demand right now.
Mhm.
You
Absolutely.
will make money if you go to a trade school.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you make it required, then you get rid of
And-
the need for trade workers because there will be plenty of people that have that trade.
Yeah,
And if you require it, you're no longer setting behind these people that went to a
And-
trade school for something for 2 years just to find out that there's no future for them in that
and
because
most
everybody
of the time,
is there.
And most of the time, if you go to a trade school, at least currently, you will get on-the-job experience and get paid for it
Mhm.
while still being in school.
Yeah, for the most part, you will.
Yeah, 'cause
There's some
there-
trades that it's hard to do
they-
that with.
Yeah, but most of them, they do. There are so many opportunities where they do like paid internships for the students, and give you work release so you can leave school early and go to an internship where you get paid.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, let's move on because I'm starting to sweat my ass
All
off
right.
and I want to go to bed and get naked.
I feel that very much.
Healthcare. I already said my point of view on healthcare. There should be a universal healthcare, just a basic healthcare, but
I agree.
you should
Feel
not be required to use that. You should be able to have your own.
Yes,
Uh,
I
private
very much
healthcare.
agree with that.
It only makes things better, and it only creates business, which is going to benefit the economy. The
Yeah.
U.S. needs to be run as a business, and that business needs to have morals beneath it.
I agree.
And then naturally, like, the more you pay, the better healthcare you get off it.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I mean, the government should offer a private healthcare. It's government offered, but you should have to pay into it still. So that way, like,
Yeah.
if you can't get into a private healthcare company, you might pay more for government healthcare, but at least you have it.
yeah. And in the long run, if you have to go to a hospital for something, you will still end up paying less if you have healthcare.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it needs like the government should not be trying to fuck over people with this.
Yeah,
They should not be trying to restrict what people can and can't do. The government's there to provide, not control.
yep.
And that's the issue right now is the government is too worried about controlling and not providing.
Yep.
And
All right. Any other subjects we have?
There
Not
was
really.
No, I think we went over all the. What? We've got.
Alright.
What else? We have like coronavirus. That's on here. And,
Alright.
and then by subsection like a vaccine.
I wanna
It's pretty straightforward, I think.
I wanna try, and we've done really politics for the last two podcasts, obviously. So for like, I'd hope and assume that we're not gonna do politics for all of our podcasts, because
that's not the goal.
that gets annoying very easily
Absolutely.
for people to try and listen to. So we're all going to try to figure out other things to talk about,
The Joe Rogan experience.
just so people know. Yeah, we're just gonna our podcast is just gonna be us reviewing other podcasts.
Essentially, the
The
podcast of
the Joe Rogan
podcasts.
review.
Yeah, the podcast of podcasts. No, but we're gonna try and
I don't know. I have us listed as politics, philosophy, and relationships.
yeah, we're all gonna find out or find other topics for us to talk about.
Yeah. Also, I think we should discuss how often we're doing this. I think if we did one live version a week, where
And
we
one
interact
audio
with
only.
the audience. Well, we do a live version, interacting with chat.
Yeah, and I feel
Um,
like we can easily do an audio only as well.
Well, all of them. I think we should stream on Twitch.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, there's
Well-
We
really
should just
no
have
downside.
one that we actually interact with the audience. The other one, the audience just talks to themselves,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
All of them are going to go on YouTube. All of them are going to be on Spotify.
But
Just we need to set.
Have you made our YouTube channel?
Yeah. The YouTube channel's already got the first one up. We
Is it
already have.
linked here on the Twitch.
It is not. I'll work on getting that at some point.
Yeah, I would do that. Let me check on YouTube. I'll see. If
You should give us the login info for the Twitch as well.
Let me make sure it's not one of my fancy passwords that I like to use.
Yeah, obviously, don't give us like your main
yeah,
password that you
you'll
use
have
for
to send
everything.
the link.
But
Okay.
I'm trying to look for it. I'm going to do this.
Okay, so
Tyler,
here.
I feel like it'll make it easier if you
Here's what I'll do. You guys are already set as moderators. I'll see if there's another thing I can do in here to set your specific profile as a moderator as well.
I'm not too.
And then in the future, like if you guys are gonna stream without me,
no,
like, do the
it's not
podcast
even
without me?
for streaming without you. It's just so we can edit like.
Okay, as moderators, you guys, as stream moderators, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'll check in my Twitch
No, I mean
settings to
edit
see.
like the about and stuff for our.
Oh, yeah, that's a channel moderator, not a stream moderator. I'll look to see if I can get that figured out. Get you set as that, and then I'll do the same thing on YouTube. I'll let you guys know what all I need for that. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and set
Alright.
dates for when we're releasing. Do we just want to do like a recorded version for Tuesdays, and then do we want to stream on Thursdays and do the live one,
I'm
or
fine
the
with
interact
that.
one, or do we want to
Um,
do the interacting one on Fridays and just say this week kind of
So
fucked with it?
I can stay
Can we? I
like, I
wanna.
might-
Go ahead, Tyler.
my classes start later on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's actually better for me on Monday, Wednesday, Friday to stay up late.
Can we? What about Saturdays, Tyler?
Saturdays I should be good. I'm not doing anything on Sundays. Sundays my work day.
So, can we do like Wednesday, Saturday? Because those are also my off days for work.
That works for me. If everyone else
It's
is
up to
good.
Mitch.
It would have to be obviously 11 on Wednesdays, and then
Yeah.
Saturdays I get off at 8.
It's up to Mitch.
Let's do Wednesday, Saturday nights for the podcast, and then we'll save Saturday, Sunday for if we actually wanted to do like any video content for the YouTube channel.
Okay,
If we wanted to do anything like
that's
that.
fine.
Well, none of us have cars. So how do we?
None of us have cars. What the fuck are you talking about? All of us.
Right, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
I wish I had that game, Tyler.
What?
I'm
Are you
fucking
not talking about the
confused.
Cars video game right now?
No.
I for sure thought that's what you were talking about.
No, I meant we can't meet up. That was a joke.
Oh,
I have the cars video game.
all of us have cars.
We can play Valorant, Mitchell.
We
Fuck
are
off.
all
Okay. I'm gonna end the podcast and the stream because I want to go to bed. So
Okay, bitch.
so yeah. Wednesday nights, Saturday nights.
yeah.
Wednesdays from 11 to 12. Try to keep that shorter.
Mitch, if you want to try and do some gaming content for the,
I'm not doing gaming content on this
Okay.
channel.
You don't want to at all?
No, not for this
Okay.
channel.
That's the personal one.
No, if
No, he doesn't even want to do gaming content on that.
No, I mean if we wanted to do something like all of us together fucking around or some shit, then that's one thing.
That's what I was saying. Like,
Go to Western
Like
Open.
I still have my Minecraft server. If we wanted to have a SMP on there, we can do that.
I'm
but-
fine with that, honestly. Yeah, but Wednesday, Saturdays, I just feel like are probably the best days for us to do it because those
Yeah.
are my off days. Tyler doesn't have anything to do Sunday, so he can be up late.
So Tyler's off Saturday at
And-
8. You're off
Yeah.
Saturday.
I'm off Saturday. Yeah, I'm also off Wednesday.
So let's go for Saturdays. Not this week. We'll have to start next week. The problem is,
Yeah.
Well, on the 16th, I had
be-
to work till the 10th. I had to work till 10 on the 16th because they fucked my schedule up, and after that, I'm good.
I thought Dreamo was changing the days that they
She
fucked up.
did, but I still have to work till 10 on that day. I told her I would.
Oh.
so what we'll do, Saturdays we'll try to do 10 to midnight, 10 to.
And that'll be.
do we think we could manage a 9 to midnight?
I I
Or
think
go for 10 to midnight for sure, and
it
maybe
depends on
10
if Tyler's
to 1.
gonna work out on Saturdays.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to.
We can do like 9:30, because that'll give you enough time to.
No, we'll make it 10 to midnight for sure, maybe 10 to 1.
And then
Wednesdays is gonna be 11 to midnight.
yeah, and
Alright.
that one will just be the
I mean,
normal
we'll
podcast.
stream all of them, but
yeah, but that one will just be the normal
yeah,
podcast.
won't
That
interact
be the
with
one where we're interacting with other things.
yeah, it'll just...
And we'll try not to get sidetracked so much.
2 hours.
Saturdays are just kind of a open whatever.
discussion. We'll have a couple points.
Saturday's the real fuckery day.
Yeah. Saturdays we might be going until dawn. Alright.
No, because I work on Sundays.
No, I'm good.
I-
Well done.
Alright,
There's-
it's bedtime for Mitchie and also shit time, so
Yeah.
possibly
Oh,
shower
same,
time.
Mitchell.
Possibly shower time. I'm pretty fucking sweaty.
Nah,
Dude,
it's
this is greasy, bro.
it's shit time and then bedtime for me. I shower in
Maybe.
the morning.
Yeah, me too.
Wakes me up in the morning.
Might just skip class tomorrow.
Take a nice cold shower in the morning.
Mitchell, how
I'm
many
playing.
classes have you skipped and when?
Let's see. This week
All of them.
I have gone to
Did you have
Wait.
classes today?
Mitchell's going to classes?
I've gone to five classes this week out of 3, 6, 9, 11.
So less than half.
Did you have
Yeah.
classes today?
Yeah, I had a lab this morning.
Did you go to it?
No, I woke up late. Also didn't have my hard hat, and I needed it, so couldn't have gone to it even if I wanted to.
Don't you have to get vaccinated tomorrow?
No, I have until the 15th.
Tomorrow's
Oh.
the day that he would be doing it.
Yeah.
How's your appeal going?
Let's
probably
see.
gonna reject it.
Submitted it yesterday. So I'm supposed to give him 5 days to receive it.
Oh.
I don't think Ohio State's going to reject them because I don't think Ohio State personally wants people. or
Are you
care.
going
I don't
to
think that-
OARDC right now?
Yeah.
No wonder you want to transfer.
Well, and I don't have to get vaccinated.
It's not horrible.
That's literally like the worst branch of the Ohio State.
Why didn't you go to the Mansfield one?
The Mansfield one's better, yeah.
Because Mansfield's medical and education.
That's where Tanner's
Yeah. For who?
That's where Tanner's going. Well, you could do your gen eds there and then transfer to the main camp.
Yeah. Or you could just not go to OU. Or OSU.
That's true.
You could just go to
Applied
AU, which is what you're trying to do.
I applied there.
All right, I'm ending the stream and the podcast.
Alright, goodbye, everybody.
Oh, I thought you already did.